In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that we shall not perish, but have everlasting life. For our sake he made him to be sin, who knew no sin, so that in him we might become the righteousness of God. For we are his handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's stream. Welcome on in, Prototype. I'm doing well, thanks for asking. How are you doing today? Just as like a little itinerary for today's stream, I plan to make the cartographer's room, and that way I can move the map from the last villager house into that room and take down that house and actually terraform over that area. And then kind of just continue to terraform. I got both shulker boxes of fully upgraded tools. So now I can mine as much dirt as I need. So that's kind of convenient. But before we start with any of that, I'd like to pray. Do you have any prayer requests, Prototype, before we get started? It's good to hear that you're good. Just kind of always pray before my streams. So if you have anything, just type her in the chat. I do have a spot in my Discord as well for prayer requests. So that way, if you have anything, you can also put it there. And for those of you on Twitch, I just updated the channel point redemption. So now there's a redemption for the naming one of those tools. So now I have 27 tools that don't have names right now. Yeah, if you have anything that's going on that you just like prayer for, I'd be happy to pray for that. So you can go ahead and type that. If not, then that's okay. We can do the typical start of the stream prayer. Alrighty, that's good to hear. So without further ado, please bow your heads with me. Dear Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for letting me be able to stream. Just pray that everything goes well and smoothly, and that I'll be able to glorify you with this. In Jesus' name, amen. Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and get started here. First thing I need to do is I need to think about what exactly I want that cartography room to be looking like. So we head down to our basement. There's now actually stuff here. So the cartography room's going to go right here. I'm going to smack dab in the middle. Need to figure out what should I do. What should I do for this room? What do cartographer rooms normally look like? That needs to go away. Not that one. Oh. Just realized that this needs to go away. I guess we'll just have this room go across. I didn't put that together that was there. All right. Let's see. What is a cartography room? We should probably start off with a floor. I really like that cherry wood floor that I have going on in my in the room that's back yonder that I just came from. There, it uses cherry wood. So I kind of want to use. I like the idea of using cherry wood for that again. I think that would look really good, being a much darker color. It says it's not live right now, but I think I'm in the correct timeline. You should be. I should have clicked it. Maybe refresh. If you were here before the stream started, I know at least Twitch will glitch sometimes, and it won't show. So you might want to refresh, and it might pop up again. Yeah, I think I like this, but I need a little bit more cherry wood, so I gotta go get some of that. I think you're good? Alright, sweet. Yeah, so that house right there has the map of this whole area. But I don't need it anymore. I don't want that building there anymore, because I'm not doing anything there. I need to terraform. Alright, perfect. I don't think I'm going to replant these because I want to move this area anyways to a different location. The tree chopping area. Is there one in there? No, we're good. Because I don't want this to be ugly over here. Doesn't look great. Right, that should be everything. Make sure I get a couple things. I'm not really big on the horror scene, so I don't really enjoy them that much. However, I will be playing Phasmophobia tomorrow with my sisters, and I look forward to that very much. That'll be at the same time as it is now. So if you enjoy horror games, that'd be a good time to go. Oh, 8 should be good for saplings. ARG? I haven't really done anything, I don't think, ARG. I've really only, the only way I'm familiar with that stuff is because of game theory. And all the ARGs that they go over from that. But for the most part, I don't really play that. I pretty much only play Minecraft. Yes, I will be live streaming the Phasmophobia. And my sisters are all fine with that. So it's gonna be a good time. Let's put that back. Alright. Oh yeah, I like this cherry wood. The grieving or whatever sprint. What do you mean by that? I'm not super familiar with Phasmophobia. My knowledge of the game is Gigs, if you know what that is. Green Impulse, Scar, Green Impulse, Scar, Gem, and Skizzleman when they play. I watch their videos on it, and so that's about my knowledge of it. But in terms of like the actual game, I'm not too familiar with. I don't know why I'm up here, and I can go down. I dare you, look at the moon the whole entire night with a clock in your hand. I'll be chilling. Ain't gonna do that. There's no real reason to. I got things to do today. Alright, gotta think of what to do for the walls, the roof. Do I have terracotta, actually? I have an idea. I have an idea. Don't think I'm gonna have terracotta. Very obscure block. Yeah, no. But I know where terracotta is, sort of. I need to find Minecraft chords and Desert Mesa. You can get some. But I gotta shriek first. Do it. I heard that things happen. I mean, not in real life, in game, of course. I'm good. I doubt it's true. The most that'll happen is nothing. As I said, I have no reason to. What I do have reason to do is shriek. Gotta wait until it's 1833. Yeah, I doubt that's true. If you watched it from a YouTube video, they probably had it all staged, because I certainly know that, let me make sure I have an ender chest in my inventory. Let's pack up our stuff. I do need to get a couple more ender chests. I have too little. What happened to this guy? His computer crashed. All the blocks became endstone. Yeah, I think most likely it was staged still. Thing is, with editing, you can still do all of that. They may say that, that's the thing. They'll say it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true. Negative 2,000, which way is negative 2,000? Negative 2,000... this way. But it's most likely staged. Well, I ain't gonna do it, so... Because that's not really what the stream's for. I already gave you the rundown of what we're doing today. Gotta build this room so I can move that map over. And then I gotta terraform. Because I need all the space I can get from the terraforming. No, I will not. Because as I said, my streams aren't really for that kind of content style. I just want to play and build. Not really into any kind of glitch or staging, anything like that. I gotta go a little bit more this way. It's 642 on the Z. It'd be better just to look through YouTube and find a video on it than to try to ask for it here. Alright, now we can get some terracotta. I want to see how good acacia and terracotta looks together. No, I don't care about the yellow terracotta, just regular. And then we'll grab all of this. Probably like 2 stacks will be enough. I don't think we'll need any more than that. Don't want this stick by any means. Yeah, I keep giving a reminder to my sisters, like, hey, make sure you guys have the game beforehand. I think the other 2 do. My oldest keeps saying she's forgetting, and then she left her computer at her job. So now she has to wait until tomorrow to get it. I'm like, bro, you better not show up and be like, oh, I don't have the game yet. Hold on, give me a second. I'll be fine. I don't know how long we're going to play it. Depends on how much fun they have. If they don't really enjoy it as much as they thought they would, then it might be pretty quick stream, and then I'll swap over to Minecraft or something like that. I do plan to actually live stream tomorrow at 1. And that way I can play Minecraft that day as well, and then play Phasmo at the end. So I'm very excited for tomorrow. Been waiting. I think it's going to be a hoot and holler. Because I've tried to play the game alone and upgrade and like try to get higher level so that way I can get more items in the game. And that way there's more to do, but it's not as fun alone. It's way more scary alone. And as I said, I'm not really into the horror, so doing it alone is like, eh. But a multiplayer horror game, that's a little bit more fun because you can hear other people. What is your favorite thing about Minecraft? For you, it's the command blocks. For me, it's the building and the kind of all the things you can create by building and all of that. The farms you can make. I really enjoy that a lot more than command blocks and that. I do like a little bit of redstone, but I'm not super good at it. I'd like to get better at it, though. So I think it'd be fun to do that. One day. Redstone is one of those things, it's a little complicated. Ah, here we are. Oh, I missed. Right, we're chilling. Alright, hopefully this looks good, because otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not very good at interiors, so this is definitely the more challenging part. It's like it's a themed interior. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Well, first of all, it doesn't exist, so there's nothing to that. Probably do nothing, honestly. It doesn't really matter which ones I use. Pop, 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 pop. I don't know. Feels like this is too flat. Well, as I said, probably nothing. I'd most likely think it's some kind of visual glitch or something. And just carry on. Alright, gotta get. This. Oh yeah, this spot is gonna be seen. Alright, okay. Well. Oh, I'm out. Hold up. Okay. What were we thinking? What were we thinking? You'd run? Yeah. I mean, probably the thing, if, like, I'd probably just exit out of the game and relog. I don't think I like it. No, I don't think the terracotta matches as well. But before record it's... Nah. Terracotta, I'm gonna put the bricks. Feels like it makes sense with bricks. What could I use? Actually. Is a cartography table just a dark oak plank? I want to see something. Are these always facing the same direction? Like you can't place it directionally? So this side has the world on it. But if we place it this way, it still has the world on it. If we place it this way, it still has the world on it. Okay, yeah, these are not directional. That's unfortunate. I was hoping they'd be directional. I'm scared of Minecraft. They joined Bedrock and then randomly my game crashed. Probably should check your computer how much RAM you're allocating to it. Because I doubt it was here, Brian. I don't like this. Specifically, I don't like the terracotta. It's too flat. I don't know. I feel like the terracotta does not match very well with the acacia. Feels out of place. Like, it's too smooth. But I don't know if I like the acacia at all. Because it almost feels like the acacia doesn't fit the cherry wood on the ground. It's too orange. So I feel like I shouldn't go with orange. I need to know what colors complement purple. Because the acacia certainly doesn't. I was watching Pearl's stream, and she had this really cool, like, color theory thing where it, like, said which ones are opposites, which ones, you know, a triangular opposite, quadrilateral opposite, to know what colors and things go together. I think the triangle one would be nice, because then you could do the walls and the ceiling in those colors. So I like the floor. I like the floor a lot. But the walls... It's not what's the guy... What's the guy with the white, red-eyed thing? It could be. Have you heard of Find Nulla? I feel like I have seen that name around before, but I don't watch his content. How would Dark Oak look? Ooh. Yeah, that'd match better with spruce, not... Oh. Oh, man. I got a pillar back up. Hold up. Cool. Okay. I think... the dark oak works very nicely. Right. Honestly, I feel like I kind of prefer it. I like the way the dark oak floats on that. Is there another block that's got the same kind of darkness to it? And I think probably just doing the standard mix is probably good. Ooh. Okay. Definitely. Definitely like this dark oak. I think the dark oak matches very well with the cherry on the bottom. It works very nicely. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I like that. That's very nice. Okay. I don't know if I like this, though. I might actually just get rid of it. I don't think it looks good on the sides there. Doesn't match it at all. Alright, ceiling. What should I do for the ceiling? I have an idea. What if I did, weird pattern, like... something like this. If it's stripped, it's good. Oh yeah, I think that looks really good. So you walk in here. I think having it right there would be pretty good. Now let me go grab that map. And I'm gonna place it in there to see kind of how that's gonna work around. Grab that, plop it in. And then, once we're done with the room, can definitely grab this, remove this house, and then start terraforming again. Definitely have to fix that little bit there. I really don't like horseshoe divots. It's just, they don't think they look good or natural in any way. It's like the one right at the melon farm I might want to fix. Oh, it's only a 4x4 map? Ooh. Ooh, okay. And these are... yeah, these are locked. That's good. Glad to know they're not going to update. At day 500, I'm going to make another map of the area. Kind of like, okay, 500 days later after this map was made. Which that map was actually made like day 5 or something. I can't remember exactly when I made it. But pretty early on, because I found maps in a cartographer's room, which actually was that room. That house is the cartographer's house. Because originally I wanted to put it here. It's not really going to work right there. Maybe... ooh. Like so. Yes, this is what the world was... this is what it all looked like before we changed it. There's a village there. We had literally built our iron farm and then made this map. So the village was still there. We didn't have our house at all. There's a lava pool, the ravines. Now there's an iron farm right there. There's all this space built. Okay. Pop this back down. Actually, if I plop that, do a little bit of that action, and then like, I'm gonna grab a lantern. I'm gonna hang a lantern in there. So slowly but surely we'll have to build these. We should be good on light. Yeah. Chilling. We can use armor stands to put stuff in certain places. So anytime we want to do anything cartography related, we'll go to this room. I don't really want to put them right there. You're back? We're just continuing this room. I think I actually want to put carpets around the table. Ooh, that was a smooth table. Put carpets around the cartography table, because that's normally how you find it in cartography houses. Oh, bonkus. And I want to use armor stands to put extra little details in there. Reason for that. I don't think I have any. Okay, yeah, I like that. That's much more dull. The white, I just felt like stuck out so much. It was too bright. I need to get a little bit more. Good thing I got wool farms. Now, let's go around the way I'm supposed to go and not take the shortcut. Which, in reality, is this way. I don't know if it's me. I haven't been getting any signals that I'm lagging on my end. Ever since we got the new internet. I only need 3. I've been chilling. Alright, now let's go the way that I'm not supposed to go, which is through there. Alright, I don't know how many armor stands I have. Could do that. Very nice. Yeah, I like the map there. Eventually, I'll actually have a proper map room. But now I can do stuff. Alright. I'm gonna need armor stands. I know I have a couple, but not enough. Yeah, I have 2. It's not really gonna do it. Well, now I have 4. That'll be good to start. This map is just to be used as a decoration. I need a filled map, but where is he? There he is. Can I do a double whammy? I can. Very nice. Yep. Boom. I'm getting papers and stuff to be all over the floor. So that way it actually looks like a proper cartography room. Alright, I want to get some plant life in here. Also, I need a couple item frames. Because I like the armor stands, but getting some just simple item frames will also do the trick nicely. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I have any other maps, but I'm wondering what other cartography-related things I could put in there. Give me a couple pots. I'm gonna have a couple oxide these. Have those 3 guys in there. Yeah, so I have a mod installed that allows me. Oh, I can make one more. Let me do that. That allows me to do all of that. Let me grab a feather, and let me grab some ink. Oh, I just had a really good idea. Just had a really good idea. Okay. I'm gonna need an armor stand though. Hold up, let me grab a. Where the heck is it? Where is it? What am I looking for? Okay, I'm looking for these. Okay. I have an idea. Gentlemen, I may not have a brain, but I do have an idea. Okay. I'm gonna try to make this. I'm gonna actually try to put black wool in there. Thinking right here, we can put an oxide daisy. Can't put anything down there, but I think right there, an azure bluette. Dandelion right there. Right in front of this guy. Actually, better idea. Right here. I think it's shears. Meh. Forget the item frames. It's not going to work with the item frames. I thought I could make the item frames invisible, but apparently I don't have that part done. So instead, I'm gonna do the more challenging thing. All right. Okay, it's too big. So I need to make... them small. Do I stream daily? For the most part, I do. We kind of got it to work. There, now we have a feather. Let me actually put... some ink on the ground. Like it's just been dropped. If I got some more black. It's not his right arm, it's his left arm. Trying to get his... trying to get it flat. You know what I mean? No, I'm not interested, Emma. Alright, if y'all are here for graphic design, graphic design or anything art related and advertising for that, I am not interested. I've already got somebody for that. Where is he? Perfect. Alright. I think that's probably good, honestly. Most of the time, it's probably not even going to see the light of day. So I'm not going to put too much into it. But thanks for the follow. If you guys just want to stick around and have a good time, it's always welcome. But I've already got graphic design stuff already set up. I like this. I think this works out very nicely. Yeah. Alright. I think I'm good to call that done. Don't want to do too much. Oh, you know what I forgot? I need to do an archway of some kinds. Because it doesn't look good just being flat like it is. We can go ahead and put some of that there. Whoa. Neat little archway. This honestly doesn't bother me that much because, like, when you're walking this way, it makes sense. Like, it's on all the doorways. Because then I feel like this archway wouldn't make sense. Yeah, that's the entrance. Okay. Coolio. Okay, well. There we go. Now we have the cartography room, and we have this moved. So it's no longer in our way. Let's sleep, drop off everything in our inventory, and remove that house, because I don't need it there anymore. One thing, though, is the lectern and the bed. I gotta make a memorial for those things, because that was Charles's stuff. But he died. Charles was a villager I had early game, but he's recently passed. Unfortunately. I don't know what killed him or how he died. Either it's very possible he walked into my iron farm and died to the lava. It is also possible that a zombie got him or something. It was a pretty well-lit area. He was my original mending guy, but then, of course, he died. So then I got a new mending guy. Which you can name my villagers that I have on the Twitch side. That is an option. Alright, I know exactly what I'm going to do with this guy. Here. Come on. I need you. I have a very, very special job for you. Very special job for you. Don't worry about the logistics of the job. I just need you to get it done, okay? Okay. Thank you. You're doing great, buddy. You're doing great. I can finally get this lead back. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and put this lead away. I don't need it in my inventory. Shove her down there. Alright. Now, we destroy this place. Oh, you know what I probably could put in there are actually a couple of banners. Like these brown banners that I have in my inventory. Could probably put those in the room. Just kind of hanging up. Since they also kind of do with that. Well, no, never mind. I don't want to do that. And the reason why is because of the loom is going to be banner centered. Because that's what you use the loom for. So it wouldn't make sense for the cartography to have banners in it if you don't do anything with banners. So like I was thinking about putting a book and quill in that room, but I think it would be better suited in the library. Because in the library you'll actually be writing stuff in there. You won't. And I will put chiseled bookshelves, which will be usable. I have an idea for a Channel Point Redemption, where you can make your own story. So that I think would be really cool. Is for you to make your own story. You can. Probably the best way to go about it is to, oh, don't break those, is to go into Minecraft and write it in an actual book and then, you know, send over the first page, because you'll buy it page by page, and you can do whatever you want with the story, as long as it's aligned with the rules. If you break a rule in the book, then I won't do anything with it. So that's always the stipulation with any of these redemptions, is you gotta make sure that they follow the rules. And otherwise, there's no moderation. And I am my own mod. So. Yeah, so I can't really fit all of this where it needs to go. So I'm going to take this crafting table I can also throw in here. These items I will not throw in there. And then, yeah, I need to make sure I have somewhere to put the lectern and the bed to show that these were Charles's lectern and bed. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Maybe I'll make a graveyard. I'll put it in a graveyard. Shruggeth. Haven't gotten that far yet. Alright, I'm gonna name them though. Charles's lectern. You can get rid of light gray too. Charles's bed. Actually, where are those item frames that I got? We'll never forget Charles. Ooh, I like how the bed goes like that. I'd love to get that situated. Alright, well. Is that all the dirt I got? Do I got no other dirt? Doesn't look like it. Let's use it up. And then we'll go and dig a ton of dirt. And get stuff terraformed away. So that'll be pretty fun. But now we're back to the grind of terraforming once again. I like it. I don't mind terraforming. Though I don't think it produces nearly the most interesting content. But hey, that's okay. And yes, I am going to cover those chests up because I don't really need them. We're going to completely forget that there was even a building right here. It's going to be great. Once I build this whole area, it's going to be like, okay, what did it look like beforehand? It's going to be Very excited for that. Don't know what I'm going to do with the town just yet. I don't really have an idea yet. So we'll kind of have to play that by ear, which is sort of what I've been doing already. Just kind of been waiting and building and seeing what happens next. And also building things according to what I need. Like, do I need a, certain build type or that. Also, remember that this is here, because if I ever need acacia anything, I got it here. I got it all here. Oh, I have 2 crafting tables in here. Oh, that's crazy. The seeds and the wheat, honestly, should be in this lower one. Because as I said, I'm covering it all up. We're just filling this whole area in. So you'll have to remember that I have those there. So that way, if I ever need it, I don't have to go harvesting. Trusting you, chat. It'll be our little secret. Not to mention the fact that there is a carrot farm right underneath here. A literal carrot farm. It's not filled in at all, but, like, the terrain goes much higher than the farm itself, so that's fun. Okay, very nice, very nice. Alright, fill this in now. I think of exactly what I'm going to do with the terrain here. Because now I got to think about the curve and what exactly it's going to look like. Because I don't have any terrain to link this up into now. It's like all the way over there. So I'm probably going to have to do a much more sharper turn. Don't know why I didn't start with the 30 first. But that's fine. Whoa. Dang, I can hear the TV through the wall right now. Well, we'll probably run out of dirt before we actually find out the answer to what we're going to do with the terrain here. No, I actually do have another stack. Very nice. Oh, wow, I have another stack. I think this is the last one. I'm surprised that I had that many. Getting a decent chunk of this with just the dirt that I had left over. And I do not have me in there. Yeah, so fill that in and then take this and connect it. I gotta fix some of that. I gotta figure out also what to do with the iron farm. Need to decide whether or not I'm gonna terminate it or keep it. I gotta shreep. I don't know, I'm running away. Just shreep out here. Because obviously I still have the iron farm that's over there, and that produces way more, about twice as, even 3 times as much as that one. I'm not really using that iron anyways. Alright, we gotta go to our dirt mining area. Thank you, Udon, for the follow, but if you're here to advertise any graphic design, I already have somebody for that. I never know. Honestly, that's how you tell that people coming in are graphic design artists and stuff, is they normally follow first, and then they advertise. So if I ever get somebody to follow without typing in the chat, typically it's because of that. Then again, I do have... There are people who lurk, so it could just be someone who's been lurking in the streams and they keep seeing it. Though I doubt I'm on anybody's recommended page because I'm too small of a creator for Twitch to push me for that. Unless they change the way they do things. I don't think they did, though. Alright. So you know all them shovels? Well, could put them to good use now. I want to get as much dirt as I possibly can. Honestly. However many shulker boxes these are. I want to use the fortune, so that way I only get dirt, because I don't really need everything else. Just need dirt. And so the dig begins. And I will be getting a Coke very soon. I will say, on the topic, I don't know if you remember when we were talking about the horror games and stuff, I do also own Bendy and the Ink Machine, but I've never played it before. Can I turn down my blocks, please? I do own Bendy and the Ink Machine, but I've never played it. But oh, that's much better. I said if I got a subscriber on Twitch, I'd play it. Originally, I was gonna do it. If I got 24 subscribers, I'd do a 24-hour stream, and I would play it then. But I think 1 is a pretty high goal, so we'll do that. So that's on Twitch. Just to clarify, because subscribing on YouTube doesn't affect that. I'm not monetized on YouTube. Not big enough there. Yeah, there's the monetization for YouTube is a little bit steeper. You have to have, I think you have to be averaging 1,000 views per video and all that. Like, I think that's the average. So we'll have to see what happens. Welcome on in, Udon. How you doing? How you doing? Just gathering up some dirt here for my terraforming. Do you already tried streamreviewers.org? Nope. I'm not gonna buy my viewers. I already don't have money. I'm already struggling on the money department. I ain't paying for viewers. I'm gonna be losing money for that. Yeah, I don't really want to build a content creation on fake viewership. I want people to be here because they want to be here. You know, whether they find my building interesting or maybe just want to talk. Doesn't really matter. But I want people to be here because they want to be here, you know? I want it to be bots that won't talk. Okay, that actually got me a lot of dirt. I don't want to leave floating trees, so I'm not going to dig underneath the forest. I'm very close to it, but I think I can do another strip of 4 before hitting it. Maybe even another one. 2, 4. Yeah, about that. And then I'd have to go here. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter how it looks, but if I need wood, coming back here actually probably is a good spot to go. Instead of digging near my area, I could just dig it out here. Because I have been tearing away that forest, but there's no reason for me to. Unless maybe I want to expand it if I, you know, when I get to the Japanese section, we get to the harbor town, then maybe I would want to do that. I don't know yet. I haven't thought that far. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill up my inventory with dirt. So that way I don't get any of the other seeds or anything like that in my inventory. Because I don't want that to clog my inventory. Or gravel for that matter. I don't really need gravel right now. I thought that was... I don't even know what I thought that was. Ah, you dodged. Good choice. I too probably would have dodged. Alright, well... I do find the digging satisfying. Like in Minecraft, honestly, I do really enjoy just digging. Whether it's like literally digging dirt or any form of haste mining. It's very enjoyable. And I do not mind doing it. When I was on a couple servers, I'd even have like services where I dig out areas for people. I'm like, you give me an area to dig out and I'll dig it out. I think I got one customer, and they needed, like, a slime farm dug out. And I dug it out, and I actually did it way faster than they even thought. Just sat down and just kept digging. Great time. It's like, you dig, you put a live stream on in the background. Oof. That's the good stuff. Just chillax. Ultimate vibe right there. So one cool statistic is that one shovel gets me about 4 shulker boxes of dirt, which is pretty good. When I netherite these up, they'll definitely go a lot longer, so that's pretty cool. But yeah. 4 shulker boxes of dirt. Quite nice. And yeah, having it be only dirt that I'm getting is much nicer, because I don't need grass at all. As I said, I think I can go one more 4 and be right at there. Alright, let's mine this out. Now I gotta scooch over a little bit so I'm not digging underneath those trees. Until eventually I remove the trees if I need oak or birch. Get tons of it from here. Which is quite nice. Okay, now I'm thinking this dirt's a little too quiet. Okay, I think that's better. It felt too quiet. I need something to break this deafening silence. And now I'm not picking up any of those because my inventory is full of dirt. So that's convenient. Don't have to worry about emptying my inventory or anything like that. Don't know why I didn't think about doing this in the past. When I mined with my Selkie, it was a little annoying. Because, of course, you get the grass as well, so you can't really do this system, because sometimes you get more grass, sometimes less grass. You don't really know how much you're going to get of each. And you fill up a lot faster, because when it's only dirt, it's only dirt. Ooh, alright, well. We'll get quite a lot, and then we might even have just enough to maybe get another section or something like that done and not have to dig again. I mean, I've only been doing 4 shulker boxes at a time because I've only had the 1 shovel. And then I had 2 shovels. But I still only did the 4 at a time. Now we're going to dig until I fill up all, I think, 11 of those shulker boxes. And then we'll place it all back in our area. Because I fill in more than I cover up. I only cover up when I have, like... I'm not there yet. I'm not digging that yet. That's going to be annoying, but it's at least not the dirt level, so that's good news. Oh, that's kind of annoying. That's the issue with Fortune, though, is gravel. Gets really annoying. Really messy. Come on, I'm trying to jump up here. Okay, there we go. Oh, that scared me. Was not expecting to see you guys. I don't really want you guys. Hold up. Can I sleep before we do this? Before we do this little tango? I don't really want to dance with you guys right now. Alright, well. Alright, buckos. Let me just get this dirt real quick. I don't want to burn any of my dirt, you know. You can burn. I don't know if I punched him or not. I hope he dies to something else and not considered death by me. Because that'd be kind of annoying. I don't want bad omen. Yeah. You guys keep shooting me. Is your captain dead? Did I smack the arrow out of the sky? What the heck happened? Cool. Alright, is the captain dead? Because that'd be nice. He is. I do want that banner though. I'm gonna grab that. Okay. I'm gonna place it here because I killed him here. Alright, cool. Next layer. Oh, it has a weird dip here. That's strange, but that's okay. Sorry if I'm not as talkative. It's just, this is really satisfying. And I just get into, like, a groove. Where all I do is, dig. Welcome on in, Naxlash. How are you doing today? I see you got that new badge. I got mine earlier today. I was watching Pearl's stream, and I looked him. I had the emote, and then I got it. Very nice, very nice. How you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day. Just out here digging dirt so I can terraform my area. I'm doing good, thanks. Thanks for asking. I have a lot of terraforming ahead of me. There's a big area. But, I mean, already it's coming together very nicely. And now I like, it looks like it has promise to do that. Do you used to go by a different name? I've been following you for a while, but I don't recognize your name. Yeah, I used to be Doug. Doug Wolf Destroy. But I recently switched it over to SDK. Technically, like, my internet persona is still Doug Wolf Destroy. So you can still refer to me as Doug. With 2 U's, of course. But SDK is kind of like an organization that I work for. It's not a real organization. It's just me. What does SDK Live stand for? Well, SDK stands for Servants of the King. I don't know. Yeah. My bar raider tool that connects my stream up does not work currently. If you do !STK, it should give you a definition of exactly what it is. Eventually, I'd like to truly start an organization with it. But right now, it's just kind of me. So I'm kind of getting a lot of things worked out for how it's going to be. And I don't know, maybe it'll go somewhere, maybe it won't. My job here is to glorify God. As long as I'm doing that, doing a good job. Ooh, oh. Oh, I was not paying attention to my shovel. Okay, 54. We're pretty good. Welcome back, Proto. And I do have channel point redemption for these tools that I'm using. And also for the villagers and all of that. I do have those. I have not built a wall of fame yet. I do really need to get working on that. But a wall of fame is... I don't know where to put it or what exactly to do. I'll probably build a building and just have like the inner walls be the wall of fame. And then if that fills up, I can build another one. Oh, I'm actually full. Wow, I dug a small... Like, I had to go in a little bit, but yet I filled up my whole inventory. That's crazy. Let's find this. Let's find this. Alright, let's plop this guy in there. Grab the next guy. Alright, let's grab up all the dirt. We will be grabbing all the seeds and all that now, so that's a bit on the sag monies. I think after I get all this dirt and place it back in the chest, or shulkers, sorry, over there, I think I'm gonna grab a Coke, because I'm getting quite thirsty. Quite thirsty, and I desire liquid. What if you just made a drink company and you just named it Liquid? Wonder if that would sell. Whoa. I meant to do that, this, and I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Get ready for this. If you're in headphones, you're gonna want to turn this up. Ooh, slow one. I got it on my keyboard. Ooh. The burn. That's where it's at. I really should invest in some paper towels or tissues or something. So that way when I open the Coke and it spills everywhere, I don't have to worry about it. Alright, and TV I can hear through the wall again. It's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the dig continues. Knack, if you're still here, what have you been up to for today? And same unto you, Prototype. What have you been up to for today? How's your day been like? Had a pretty chill day. Went rock climbing today. So that was really fun. Just hanging out. That's always a vibe. Yeah, I did some recording for my upcoming video. Hopefully I like the series and we'll continue with it. Probably. I put a lot more work into this one than I have for the other two. But yeah, and then got a stuff. Yeah, Minecraft video. And I went rock climbing. Really fun. I got a couple climbs. Some I wasn't actually expecting to get. So that was kind of fun to get those. Some of them were more scary than other ones. I was doing I don't know if y'all know what some climber terms. I'll give you a little lesson here. So slopers, very slick holds, like big, like think of a ball kind of thing. So there's not much to grab on them. So there's a very slopey climb made of a bunch of these kinds of holds. right? So it starts off with a big jump. That's called a dyno, or that's short for dynamic movement. So closer to kind of parkour, but not quite. It's a very fine line, but it can get very close. I'm not as big a fan of the dynamic moves, but this one was relatively short. So, and I was there climbing with somebody who normally climbs a little bit better, and then I kind of just did it, and I wasn't expecting to. The nice thing about some slopers is that they'll have a side that's much easier to grab, rather than it being completely flat and, you know, there's no grip. You know, you imagine grabbing a ball and your hand just kind of slips off it. There's no texture, there's no grip, just kind of slip off. But there was a couple sides that were a little bit better in terms of grip. So I found those and was like, oh, I can actually like grab these rather than, you know, having to trust in the physics of my angle. And, you know, with slopers, you want to stay below them. Oh, filled up again. You want to stay below a sloper. Another one? Do you not see this? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to talk about rock climbing, okay? I'm trying to talk about my passions, man. Look at you're literally shooting your own men to kill me. What kind of a leader are you? Huh? Answer me. Look at that. You just killed your own leader. How does that make you feel? Should have kept you alive so you could forever sit in your guilt. Okay, that was a bit intense. Sorry, guys. I just really wanted to talk about slopers, man. Actually, I don't like slopers that much. Pinches are probably my least favorite hold. A pinch is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a pinch. That one's kind of nice. So it's the one that most people will understand. It's like a pinch. Oh yeah, you just grab it. Though pinches are kind of difficult. That requires a lot of forearm strength. I like the rocks I like the best, the hold type, are crimps. Now crimps are only your fingers. That's all you got to use for it. And then pockets. And pockets are typically only 2 fingers. Is all you can fit inside. So those are the hold types that I like the best. Slopers I'm not as good at because they're just, you know, bigger and harder to grab, and I have much smaller hands, so not a lot of surface area. I'm not good at pinches because my forearm strength isn't as good. I have a much better finger strength in terms of just like how strong my fingers are, rather than an actual forearm kind of grip. Though I probably have stronger forearms than the average person, which is kind of funny to me because I'm a very like skinny, short person. I don't look like I should be very strong in terms of like pulling myself up and all of that. So sometimes I feel like so the rock wall that I use is also the school's rock wall, and it's right next to the gym that the school owns as well. And there's this part of the rock wall that faces the gym, and so sometimes it's fun to climb there. There was one day I was doing this one climb that required you to go upside down and like almost do a handstand. I didn't get it because it was a little bit more coordinated than I was used to. I like my static moves, which if you know English, like static and dynamic characters, same kind of concept of rock climbing. Static is much more slow and precise, whereas dynamic is much more powerful and, you know, a jump or, you know, something like that. So I prefer the static climbs. But this climb was more coordinated and kind of dynamic, but with your feet, and you're like upside down doing this bat hang, and like I'm trying this climb and I'm getting upside down, I'm moving over, but I can't quite get my body moved to the next rock. And I see this one guy who's doing, you know, curls over there. Who's like twice or not 3 times the size of me, and he like looks over and he gives me like a thumbs up. And like he was definitely impressed with like the fact that I look so small and unstrong, and I'm doing these one-armed handstands kind of thing and using my feet and moving about the wall like, you know, I'm swimming through the air kind of thing. So I always think that's very funny. And so I really enjoy rock climbing. It's definitely the sport for me, because it's right up my alley of, you know, it's kind of like a puzzle, because you got to figure out exactly what to do and where to go. but it's also very nice because then there's also the physical aspect of it and the strength that goes with it. Because I'm smaller, I also am very, very light. And you might think of somebody who's light. I'm probably 15 to 20 pounds lighter than the lightest person you're thinking of. Okay, maybe not 20 now. I've gained a little bit of weight. So probably just like 15, 10. But like think of the lightest person you know and subtract 10 to 15 pounds. And I'm probably as light, maybe lighter than them. Last I measured today, because I always measure when I go climbing, but last I measured I was 105 pounds. So just let that sink in. So yeah, rock climbing comes really naturally to me, very nicely. So I actually think that rock climbing is a very nice sport, especially for people who aren't the most athletic, because you see progress very quickly. So in order to know the difficulty of certain climbs, there's a V scale. And really the V doesn't matter. It goes from 0 all the way up to 14 and maybe 15 these days. There are some really hard climbs out there. So it goes up to, the gym we're at goes up to 8 is the highest you can climb. So it goes up to 8. But the nice thing about it is you'll go from a V0, which is the easiest climb. Pretty much a ladder is the best way to describe it. You know, it's like climbing a ladder is a V0, right? Most people start there, and then, you know, if they like it, they'll stick around, and then you'll start doing some V1s, which are a little bit more tricky, but not super difficult. Mainly V1s introduce new hold types. The last hold type I didn't really talk about was a jug, which is the easiest, best hold to grab. If you think of a milk jug, it's like that. It's the outside part. You know, you can just grip that thing. So it makes it very nice. And so, like, V0s are all jugs. Then V1s introduce a new type of hold that you're not used to, but it's still pretty easy. And then V2s, you start getting more technique, and now you actually have to know a little bit about what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you know, then the technique, you know, you're probably going to do V2s with more strength than technique. And that's where you start to learn your technique and figure out, okay, where do I put my foot? How do I do my hands? How do I move up on the wall? How to root read? You know, all of those things you start learning how to do and all of that at V2. And now after you learn all the basics, you're now able to climb V3s, because the V3s are really just the basics put to a little bit more difficulty. And they introduce, you know, you have all the holds you used in V2s, but they make them slightly harder to use. And then then you get to the V4s, which is like the first climax, basically. There's like 2 climaxes, which is that, and then of course the highest level. So you get to V4 pretty quickly when climbing on the wall. You know, you can have people who've only climbed for I'm putting that down in the quotes. Climbed? Okay, we'll add that later. Anyways, where was I? You progress really quickly. So I think that was one of the reasons I got hooked on it, is because I started, and like the first time I ever went to the rock wall, I was there for 20 minutes. I climbed up the wall. I didn't pay attention to the colors or the routes or anything like that. I just kind of grabbed things, went up, had a good time, and was like, all right, that's it. And then I decided to go again. And then I actually understood, like, okay, there are routes there and all of that. Okay, I understand now. So you have the tags, which tell you the difficulty. Then you want to climb only one color, which is the route. And then, that made it a little bit more fun. My second expedition was about an hour long. So already a pretty dramatic change. And then now I climb about 2 hours. Not a day, but 3 times a week I'll climb for 2 hours, roughly. I haven't been climbing as long because I haven't been taking as many rest breaks. So when you climb, you want to take about 2 to 4 minute rest break in between each time you get on the wall. And that includes going to the start holds and starting to go up and, you know, dropping after that. Like, you should probably rest after you do that even. Just because it's good to step back, look at the wall again, try to see what to do next, what to fix, what's, you know, what you need to do. So it's very nice in that way. But when no one else is at the wall and it's just you, because it's summertime, you go a lot faster because, you know, sometimes you have to wait for people to get off of the wall so you can climb the climb you're trying to go on. But if there's no one there, you can just keep going at it, even with your rest breaks, and so it doesn't take as long, and you're most likely going faster and taking shorter rest breaks because there's no one there that you don't feel the reason to rest that certain time. Which I should probably get better at that. I should probably make sure I'm resting the full time. But yeah, it's pretty fun. I think if you have a rock climbing gym near you, you should definitely try it. Because it's well worth your time. So there's actually, I should probably have started with this. There's two types of climbing. There's the rock wall, which is what everyone calls it, most people refer to it as. But there's actually another type of climbing, which is bouldering, which is what I enjoy doing more. Bouldering is kind of what it sounds like, where it's like you're climbing a boulder rather than a wall. So the rock wall is what goes all the way up. The bouldering wall is the, you know, shorter, like maybe 15 feet at most, and there's mats on the ground, so no ropes, but there's mats on the ground when you fall or if you fall. So yeah, that's what I do. So when I'm like talking about climbs, I mean the bouldering wall. I don't really use the rock wall because I don't really enjoy it as much. The best way to kind of be like, well, what's really the difference between them is the rock wall that you get belayed on. Oh, don't come down here, man. You're a very slow horse. The rock wall is more of an endurance test, whereas bouldering is more strength-based. And, like, you know, how, you know, I feel like bouldering is much more of a testament of how good you are at climbing, because it's more technical, it's more specific, precise, and stronger. Whereas the rock wall going up, you know, 30 to 40 feet is more of an endurance test. How long can you last? As I said, the bouldering wall goes all the way up to V8, at least at my gym, though some can go up to 11s or even 14s. I think 15 is the highest now. The hardest boulder, I think, is a 15. And so, where was I? Oh yeah, so the rock wall, most likely you'll just get a really long V3 is going to be the hardest you'll find at the actual wall itself. Whereas the bouldering aspect is not going to be that difficult. The rock wall won't be that difficult. The bouldering is difficult. That's the hard part. That's the more fun part. Though, like, some people will be like, oh, but, you know, going up is the cool thing, you know? My parents were like that. You know, I talked to them about the rock climbing. And they just look at me and be like, you know, I showed them a video of me climbing something. And it was actually a really difficult climb that I was doing. And I showed them, and I even gave them a reference photo of, like, how small the holds were that I was grabbing onto. And they just kind of shrugged it off, like, I don't really understand this. It's not that cool. And I'm like, but look at how small that is. Like, that's that. And, of course, I had already completed that climb, so when I did it very fluidly, and as if it wasn't hard at all. And so, like, they were like, okay, what's impressive about this? And, like, and my mom was even, like, she wanted to see me going up the actual wall. And so then I had to explain, like, the difference between the bouldering wall and all that, and, you know, why the other one's cooler and all that kind of stuff. And then I actually was able to get my dad to join me climbing. And so that was actually really fun to climb with him. And I think he now understands a little bit more when it comes to the rock climbing aspect of what goes into it and the difficulty that I associate with it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh yeah, now I see. And I doubt anyone would actually, like, walk up to somebody who rock climbs and it's like, oh, yeah, this isn't hard at all. You know, I doubt there's anyone like that. Because most people are like, yeah, it's hard. But, you know, I can't wait for the day when somebody's like, yeah, that's not hard. Or I could put my skills to use. Today, actually, I learned that I can actually hang from a triangular corner. One-handed. I was holding, you know, there's a triangle, right? Actually, it was like this. It's a triangle. If you think of a hold, that's like this. There's an edge that's like this. And in reality, the edge was like this, right? So there's a part on the wall. They're called volumes, which are big bulges that kind of pop out of the wall, and you have other rocks on it, right? And you have this corner edge right here. I was holding onto an edge like this with one hand, just hanging there, just chilling. I didn't realize I could do that, but now I know that I can hang on the wall with one hand on a corner. So if ever I need to do that in real life, which I don't know when that would be, I know that I can. Which I guess is good. I don't know, is that good? So that was pretty fun. And there's a guy I was climbing with today, and he was actually like a really good climber. He climbs around V8s all the time, and so it was fun to talk and climb with him. But like I was doing a climb in front of him, and by response, I was just grabbing the corner of this volume just casually and campusing it. Oh, to campus is to climb without your feet, so all arms. So I was doing this one little section, I was trying to figure it out, and at one point my foot slipped, so I was campusing it, that I could hang from it one-handed, and so I did. And, yeah, and then he was like, yeah, that's really impressive, that I was able to hang from that with one hand, because most people can't do that. Also, another fun fact about me is whenever I think about rock climbing, my hands start to sweat. Don't know why. And it's only about rock climbing. Like, my hands are starting to sweat right now as I talk about it. And I have, like, no idea why that happens. Very, very interesting. Yeah. I've kind of thought about recording myself climb and maybe putting that on YouTube. The only issue is I haven't done a face reveal, so y'all don't know what I look like. And I wanted to leave that be for a while and not do a face reveal for a hot minute. I was waiting for something specific to happen, but I don't know if it will, so I don't really know if it matters. I wouldn't be able to do a face reveal right now anyways, because my computer doesn't actually have a face cam on at all. So I'd have to get a face cam separately, which is probably what I'd want to do anyways, because webcams are bad cams. So I'd probably want to get a more proper face cam, whatever that would look like, and use that. So, yar. But I could do that. I don't know, I feel like face cam streamers, I think, get more views. And, like, I think it's, like, even when people are sitting in silence, it's like, I've watched Shadowstone a lot during the afternoons, and a lot of the times, he'll sometimes just sit there in complete silence, and I'll have him on in the background. But, like, you'll have the face cam there, and that just makes it better, because you can actually see that he's thinking. Whereas, you know, when I'm thinking, you can't really tell other than the noises. But, you know, I'm silent trying to think of something, and with a face cam, you'd be able to see it, like, okay, he's cooking, he's thinking about something. Otherwise, you wouldn't. So I just think that's kind of fun and interesting. And we'll grab another little bit. Also, I have no idea how long I'm gonna go today, because now, you know, my last stream was 4.5 hours. Then again, I was doing something that was quite time-consuming. I'm not doing that today. I'm just terraforming, but I could just keep going. I do plan to go live tomorrow at 1 o'clock playing Minecraft, and then at 7 o'clock, I'm going to play Phasmophobia with my sisters. I'm very excited for that. I'm hoping None of them bail. It doesn't sound like any of them have plans right now. They all said they were free, and no one said anything so far. So theoretically, we're good. We're golden. One of my sisters is currently not... She hasn't downloaded the game yet. I put a reminder yesterday, like, hey, if you haven't gotten the game, you should probably do that. And she was like, oh, yep, that's probably important. I haven't done that yet. And then I put another reminder in today, like, hey, if you haven't gotten the game... I also mentioned that they should probably play around with it, get the controls and all of that situated, so they're not trying to figure it out on stream, just to make the gameplay a little bit quicker. But it also doesn't really matter that much, and I think they have a basic enough understanding of how video games work that they'll know roughly how to play, just from that. I don't know if any of them have done research and, like, played it a couple rounds beforehand to get the hang of it. Because I've played a couple more rounds, so now I feel like I know a lot about it, and all the gigs I've watched to understand it. I feel like I know what I'm doing. Even though I've only gotten the ghost right once because I get too scared and leave. Dude, playing alone, okay, is really scary, guys. It's really scary. Having other people, at least you're scared together, you know? That'll be much more fun. Welcome on in, Wildly Coyote. That is a mouthful. I'll call you Wild, if that's okay with you. Unless you prefer Coyote. I'll call you Coyote. How you doing today? How you doing? I'm just gathering up some dirt for some terraforming. And if you really like Phasmophobia, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, the same time I start streams, I'll be playing with my sisters. So that'll be a hoot and holler. Highly recommend going to that. Because I'm very, very excited for that. That was one of the things I was just mentioning. It's a vibe. So yeah, we'll see how much they know already. I don't know. They might be going into this completely blind. Two of my sisters did watch me play it when I had played earlier. So that was fun to have them there, and they saw how the game ran, so they were interested in it at that point. We're like, yeah, we'll do this. They probably don't really realize what they're getting into, because watching other people play it, it's not super scary. Playing it yourself is quite terrifying, especially playing it alone. Alright, this is probably the last time I use this shovel, because it might be pretty dead after this. So we start digging dirt, and then we go and place all this dirt back again. Very good stuff. I also played some Satisfactory earlier today, so that was fun to get that set up. I definitely need to get a better storage system set up, because right now I have stuff all over the place. And, like, I have iron products in one area, and copper products in another, steel in another. They're all in separated areas, and they're not super easy. Some of them are easier to get to than others. But, like, some of my factory areas are very jumbled and all over the place. And I should probably get a more centralized storage system, since all of the factories run even when you're not there. So that's kind of nice. You'll get all the resources. I'm terraforming my main base area. So little ways over there I have my prairie area that's in a savanna. And it was just the terrain was a little off. So I'm kind of fixing it, flattening it out a little bit in certain areas, making it easier to build on. So that way I can visualize where buildings will go, pathways, and then of course the farms. The farms that are bigger than the houses. So we're getting all that situated today. I'm going to sleep and then replace the shovel because I don't want to break these. I just made them. I made them yesterday. So yeah, we're getting that all situated. Ooh, cracking my shoulders. And because once we get it all terraformed, I can then start planning out and making the pumpkin patch that'll go right over my iron farm. And then once the pumpkin patch is in place, probably make a melon patch, and then figure out where the silos are going to go that'll actually house pumpkin and melon farms. And also figure out where whatchamacallums, where the houses and buildings are going to go. Also, for those of you on Twitch, if anyone's interested in naming these like shovels that I also have a shulker box of pickaxes. I just made the channel point redemption available. And of course, all the villagers that I use to get these are also, there's a channel point redemption for naming them, if anyone is interested in that. Alright. We're getting very close. Probably this shovel will be the last one we'll need to use to get all of the dirt in all of those 11 shulker boxes. Then we probably won't need to come back here for a while. We'll have a lot of stuff. So that's good. That's good. One thing I do need to do, though, is I do need to harvest my wheat fields, because right now I have no hay bales whatsoever. So it's a bit on the unfortunate side. But, not the end of the world. Right, yeah, now that the slices of dirt that I'm mining have gotten smaller, I'm getting less and less per session. Ow, that hurt. Good thing I'm mining that spot. What have you been up to today, Wild? Just chilling today, or get anything special done? I was talking about some of the satisfactory stuff I was getting done. I just got oil set up, so getting plastic and rubber all done and dusted. But I very quickly need to make computers so I can get some... I want to get trains up and running. I think it'll be really fun to play around with trains, so it might be worth getting the trains and putting all the stuff I have into the train and having the storage system there. Not much of anything at all. Sounds like a vibe. Sounds like most people's summers these days. Everyone I ask that question, they're all like, yeah, I just, you know, loafed around. I'm like, nah, I mean, I'm in no different boat. I'm pretty much just loafing around these days as well. Been recording a little bit for a new YouTube video, so that's kind of exciting. Doing some building for that. I need to probably do a little bit of editing to get some of the clips down, see how much footage I have to see if I need to do anything more or not. But, yeah, other than that, I haven't really been doing much. One bow, that's all it took. One shot. Just kind of vibing. And then of course, I always have the streams at 7 to look forward to. I live stream every day at 7 o'clock, except for Sundays and Fridays. Sundays I live stream at 3, and then Fridays I don't live stream at all because I watch a movie with my family. So I don't really have time to stream. Otherwise it'd be super late, but I can't stay awake that long. So I just take that day off. It's not bad to have a day off every once in a while, even though I already have so much time off. I don't have a job yet, so though I am kind of pulling the last straw on Friday. I'm going to apply to McDonald's on Friday. And I've already worked at McDonald's for 4 years back home. Well, now home is here. But back in Pennsylvania, I worked at a McDonald's. And, you know, I mean, it's not like I disliked it, but it's not like I liked it either. It was tolerable, is the way I like to put it. I could tolerate it. But I wouldn't really look forward to doing that same line of work again. But reality would only be for a summer. I'd hope to work at the rock wall when I get back to school. But we'll see how that goes. Because I need money. I have no sources of income, so I can't really buy anything. And then, of course, college itself. I need money for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. But God will provide. I'll figure out something. I mean, I'm assuming he's going to put me in the job I need to be in. Right now, I think he wants me to lean into the content creation. I mean, I've already been seeing that, especially during the summer. I'm getting a lot more people coming in, so it's looking promising. I think when I get YouTube videos up and running, that might also help. Because maybe I'll upload the YouTube videos and though, you know, maybe the series idea I had will pull in people. It's very viewer integrated, so that's always a good thing to do for content. Is viewers love it when they can interact and actually, you know, do things inside the world, kind of thing. So it's always a pretty fun thing to do. So yeah, we'll see what happens. If McDonald's themselves does not respond or hire me at all, which would be a very surprising turn of events. Like that would have to be God's hand saying, yeah, I don't want you to have a job, I want you to work on this. So just gotta kind of trust him and hope for the best, really. We'll see what happens. But I enjoy this at least. So like this is very fun for me, doing this. Just chilling here, I'm digging dirt, then placing dirt. I keep going farther each time. It's okay. I'll mine those areas later. Alright, well, I think 1 or 2 more layers will probably do the trick. Because this will fill up one shulker box, and then I'll have the other one, I think. Oh, wait, do I have 2 more left? I don't remember how many I have left to fill. Well, that's fine. We'll see. It's either 1 or 2 left that I have to do. And then we could start placing it all. Getting it all situated, getting the my area looking nicer. And then tomorrow during the afternoon, I could start planning out and building some stuff. Probably get the... okay, I have 2 more left. This guy and that guy to do. I start planning out and trying to figure out where that is. Also, wild, I just noticed that you also have the pickaxe badge. I just realized you had it right now. That'll be fine. Okay, it's getting exponentially hotter in here. Yeah, give me a second. I gotta oscillate. I gotta oscillate that fan, man. Give me a second. Okay, fan is oscillating. You know when it gets hot and it feels like there's a blanket on your face kind of thing? That's how I started feeling. I have the smallest room in our house, so my room gets the hottest because there's not very much space to span. There's like enough space for 2 people to stand, and then I have all my stuff. You know, I have my desk, my giant gaming chair, my bed, and then some stuff that's stored in the corner where the door opens, you know. Hey, it ain't much, but it's honest work, you know. I live in this. I also don't really take that much of a footprint up when it comes to living, since I do so much on my computer. I really just need the desk and the computer setup. Of course, I have a Bluetooth keyboard now, and a piece of wood that goes over top of 2 tables to be the keyboard and mouse, so that way I don't have to sit up anymore. And now I've kind of gotten used to using the keyboard itself. It's a bigger keyboard than my laptop keyboard, so I fat finger things sometimes, but lately I haven't been doing that. So that's been nice. It's been a vibe. You just wouldn't want to fat finger something while running away from a ghost or something like that. Like, oh no. I actually do have some of my keybinds and controls for Phasmophobia. Minecraft as the same. Like, you have WASD as that's almost always going to be your movement. But like in Minecraft, I have my tab key as my sprint, and I have the same in whatchamacallit. Forgot what it's called. Phasmophobia. It's the same in Phasmophobia. The thing that's really annoying though is you could sprint while crouching. Though it is a button push crouch, it's not a hold to crouch. So one thing though is you know the Xbox game bar tab thing? If you press tab and shift, that'll pop up, which is really annoying when you're trying to shift and sprint, and you have tab and shift as your sprint and crouch keys. Welcome back, Proto. Working on a new animation, or the same one you were working on yesterday? All right, this should be the last dig. It's the final dig. Bidoo-doo-doo. Bidoo-doo-doo-doo. Sorry. Okay, this will be perfect. Also, I'm pretty sure that was off key, but that's okay. I never said I was a singer. You're doing better? New one? Ooh, nice. Seeing progress is always good. It's a good motivator. That's why I like terraforming. You see progress immediately. Sometimes in building, it's hard to see the progress and kind of be like, okay, well, what is this going to look like? Especially when you're, like, wireframing. You have to use a lot of imagination. Now, I always consider myself a creative person, but I don't think I'm a very imaginative person. I have a hard time picturing things in my head and imagining what things would be like. That's why I like watching videos rather than reading, because I can't imagine what's going on in the books. I can't see what's happening. So it's much better for me to watch it, and then I can actually see what the character looks like, and I can see the actions that are being taken. And that's why I like, reading manga or graphic novels, because I can actually, like, see the pictures, and, like, when it describes a character, it doesn't need to, because I can see it. So I much prefer that, because when I'm reading, I can't imagine what's going on. And so it's, like, sometimes difficult with wireframing, because you wireframe, and now you're, like, looking at it like, okay, well, now what? Can't really picture what this is supposed to be looking like. So that's why I like terraforming, because you just place dirt and you slowly pull it out, and you're like, do I like this shape? Well, yes or no, You're doing better. Final countdown. Nice. It's the same thing, but it's way better than the first one. Nice. Yeah, that's always fun. It's always fun doing that. And then you could always recycle animations as well. So now you'll always have that, it was a ball bouncing, right? Because now you can use that in other things. And, like, there's a really cool thing if you look at Disney animation. If you look at, like, Jungle Book and Winnie the Pooh, the animation is the exact same. They just reused the animation but put different backgrounds on it. So it looks really cool. I know that's not full, but 4 shovels. It's 9 o'clock. We spent about an hour just digging. So I think that'll actually do it for the digging portion. It's time to terraform. I now have enough dirt for this. So I can start actually doing something with this dirt. Which one of these is not like the others? It's you. Alright, let's head on back. Y'all can see the new area. You can see the prairie lifestyle that I have. Can I make it? I can't. That's fine. We'll just go a little bit higher and float on down. Yep. Can't wait to do the Japanese style. I'm both like excited and afraid because I want it to look right, but also I've never built in a style like that. I can't make up my mind what I want to do with this iron farm. Oh, I can't pick block these. Okay. Let's start placing these in. Don't worry about the chests. Don't worry about the chests. I mean, the title of this stream is Terraforming, so you better believe you're going to see some terraforming happening. Okay. I think one more layer will probably do it. Alright, well, I think that'll do it. Once again, I'm not trying to do terraforming for beauty, but to shape out the land, so that way it's easier to build on. So if it doesn't look the greatest, that's okay, because we're going to just cover it up anyways with a building or a farm. And you're really not going to be able to see the terrain anymore. The only time terrain would really matter is when I make more tree-heavy forest areas. Because then you'll actually be able to see the terrain underneath all the trees, and making it look a little bit better was probably smarter. Because my terraforming is not to the level of Scar. I may enjoy it, but I never said I was super good at it. I can make it look like Minecraft terrain, and I'm pretty good at covering things up. But, not at, like, custom terrains, necessarily. That would be good to practice those. Because really, I mean, I guess the farmland is kind of like custom terrain. Alright, remember, if I need acacia, it's down there. And it's like they were never here. Once again, I'm very methodical when doing this, so I'm not really thinking about what I'm saying, so I might just kind of silently place these. There's a reason I have quiet as a tag, just as a little warning. Sometimes I just get in the groove and just roll with it. Questions are always welcome, though. One thing is nice, this being no longer a horseshoe. Oh, look at that. That's way better. I do gotta fix this, though. I should probably do it. That'll be good. Okay. When I need spruce or just wood in general and I take those down, I'm not going to replant them because I need to put them in a different spot. because now I'm starting to actually move to this area. It's going to be better to do that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. My nose itches. Alright, I need to fix the edge of this land, because, man, is it screwed up. Oh. My nose won't stop itching. It's got, like, one of those tingle itches where it just keeps tingling. Just like, stop it. It's almost like a torture or something. Like, what are these divots even in this terrain? Like, what's going on here, man? This is crazy. Yeah, because, it's iron farm. It's not great right there. That I think it'd be best to get rid of it. Which would actually kind of look interesting on the map. Because, of course, in the first map of the area, and what it looked like before I started all of this, the iron farm is there. And then in the second one, the iron farm would be gone. Yeah, I think it's time. I get rid of this iron farm. There's no reason to have it anymore. I have a better one. They're just like directly underneath. Where is this? Okay. I think it's actually right where this is. Nope. One over. I already have a villager breeder and stuff. And honestly, I just want these guys dead. Doesn't really... Everything else in here doesn't really matter. I'm going to take the boat, though, because I don't want the lag. Now we have 3 heads for y'all to use, so that's fun. Oh. Yeah, that's pretty obvious that was going to happen. Definitely want my hoppers. That's for shizzle. For shizzle. With a frizzle jizzle. I don't even know what a frizzle jizzle is. Alright, once again, if we need poppies, you got a little extra in there. Like, we're actually going to use those. Actually, you know what else? No. I'm going to put this iron into the villager trading area. What's your favorite show and movie? My favorite movie is Ready Player One. I really like that movie. I think everything that you could do right in a movie, Ready Player One did. Excellent storytelling, as well as character development, character design, and just like, you know, the actors they chose, the acting that was done, the story that was told, the visuals that are used. It's all beautiful. I'm honestly surprised that I don't know if Ready Player One's ever been looked at by Corridor Crew. For my favorite, like, live action show, it would be Doctor Who, but only until the 12th Doctor, Second Assistant. After that, I stopped watching. I don't want these rockets anymore. But from the 9th Doctor up to the 12th Doctor, really good stuff. 10 and 11 were really good. Honestly, as much as people don't like Capaldi, who's the actor who plays the 12th Doctor, I don't mind. I honestly don't mind it, and you can really see the character development that goes through there. And also, you kind of watch Doctor Who, like, for the Doctor, but also for the assistants, which is why when the 12th Doctor, the second assistant after Clara, was introduced, it kind of fell off. And now that Disney owns Doctor Who, it's in the dump now. It's in the dump now. So that's a bit sad. You know, out of all of the hands that Doctor Who could have been in, it's gotta be Disney. I don't like Disney. Not anymore. Old Disney is good, but now Disney's just a brand. You cannot change my mind on that. They produce terrible, cheap stuff that people will still spend a lot of money to watch because it's Disney. So it's expected to be good, which is ironic because now it's not. But I guess maybe they're not looking for good shows. They're just looking for entertainment. Quite sad. But that's why I watch a lot of anime. I'm not really into the live action scene when it comes to TV shows and stuff. I prefer anime. My favorite anime is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. It's really good. There's another one out there that could have been as good as this one. But I don't know what they did. They kind of went weird with it. Like not weird in that way, but weird as in like the storytelling kind of fell off. They kind of lost what they were doing and what story they were trying to tell. Kind of got convoluted. It was really strange like that. It's called The Rising of a Shield Hero, or The Rising of the Shield Hero. Right, so the world that it had built and set up was really cool. And then Season 2, things really sped up. A lot of new content was introduced. And it was like, okay, that's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on, and I don't really know what any of it means. You know, there's just a lot. You're just throwing stuff at us. And then, after that, my animation is good, but also have a big mistake. Your animation's great? Hey, mistakes are a great learning point. Like The Rising of a Shield Hero, where, continuing with that, they had the world really cool, and then Season 2, they sped up and kind of they added a whole bunch of stuff. It wasn't terrible, and it was fixable. By Season 3, add no new content and just expand off of what you've added already. And what did they do? They didn't actually add new stuff in Season 3, but they just kind of lost the charm that they had with the original stuff. It got really strange. There was it felt like a lot of plot holes were there. There's also like character development holes. Like the main character is immediately set up for failure, so he trusts no one except the people closest to him. Some random character shows up out of the blue, introduces themselves. They become, you know, they're like, okay, we'll chill with you. We don't really trust you, but we'll chill. The next thing you know, there's a dragon that they gotta defeat, and this random stranger, our main character, is like, yeah, you look over my entire village, please. I thought you didn't trust anyone, but okay. So that there wasn't like that. After that point, I stopped because I'm like, okay, they've kind of, I don't think they know what they're doing anymore, and I doubt this is how the manga was written, but it might have been. Really, it could have been really good, and then it just didn't. And that's where That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime don't know what the word is, but, you know, did really good at, is it has such an amazing world built, cool characters that, like, are fun to get along with and to learn about, and just, like, a cool story, a cool setup of the world. It's very, very nice. They knew what they wanted, and then they did it right. Oh, that's much better, honestly. I think one thing I'm going to try doing, though, like you see this bit? I'm going to try connecting that up to there to thicken this. First, I need to kind of fix this. I need to cover this up and terraform this whole area. So I'm just gonna bring this across and fill it in. Make it pretty good. My second favorite anime is Attack on Titan. Pretty much a lot of what I said earlier applies to Attack on Titan. Just amazing story. And I don't know what it is about Attack on Titan, but it being my favorite just doesn't feel right. But Attack on Titan being in any other slot that isn't number 2 feels like an injustice for it. So it has to be my second favorite anime. It just has to be. It's so good. But, you know, then you have animes like That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and it's like, that one's really good too. That I can't, it took me a while to finally agree that that was my favorite. It originally was Demon Slayer, just because aesthetically it was so fun to watch. The only reason I had to downgrade it to number 3, because remember, Attack on Titan has to stay number 2. The only reason it got downgraded to 3 was because the story was cookie cutter, kind of cliche, good versus evil. And there's nothing wrong with that kind of a story, but it's not super interesting, you know. It's kind of bland, you know. There's not a lot to work with. You have the same, you know the hero's gonna win, whereas it's funny because I don't care about politics. And that time, and I'm just gonna call it Slime. Slime is very political with like kingdoms and stuff, and like, okay, you know, this guy is trying to start his own nation of monsters, but of course the world the world that he lives in looks down upon monsters because, well, they're monsters. But, you know, he's making them all peaceful and civil and all that kind of stuff. But people still don't trust him and all of that. And so now he's trying to, like, do all the political stuff for that. There's war brewing, or possibly. There's a lot of interesting stuff that's going on. That it's like, okay, well, how are we going to get by all of this? So it's very, very cool to kind of see what's going to happen and how everything's going to go. And I think, honestly, the coolest part about this, which I think most people will probably be like, you know, this guy's building the town and he's, you know, coming up with like what to do with houses wise and all of that, and how to build the town itself and all that. And it's like, okay, you know, that seems inaccurate. How does he just know how to do this? And I'm like, okay, well, you know, it's reincarnated, which means he originally was a human on Earth. And the simple solution, his job, he was a contractor. He was a 37-year-old contractor before he got reincarnated. And so, therefore, when he did eventually get reincarnated, that knowledge, it wasn't like it left him. You know what I mean? It didn't leave him. So, you basically have this contractor here. And so he's building this whole town because he knows how to. And I think that's like the coolest, most cleverest thing to do, and like way to explain how he's able to do all of this. Now, being a political leader is kind of it's a whole own thing. Right, because obviously that takes a little bit more, and so that one's more of the far stretch, and him being good at like combat and all of that, just casually, is also kind of more of a stretch. But I think that fits with the theme of the story, because the other thing with it is he's like a really overpowered slime, right? You know, you think of a slime in most video games, and they're typically not very powerful. They're most likely starter monsters, the weakest, and he's like super strong and powerful. And that's kind of one of like the jokes, but also like a very huge part about it. At least in the beginning it was. Now people actually like, you know, agree that he's very strong and not something you should take lightly. Like a lot of the other nations are like he's a threat, when in reality he just wants to get along with humans and make his nation of monsters. Like, that's all he wants to do. So it's interesting how everyone's treating him, because he's made his claim very clear and his intention very clear. He doesn't want war, but nobody knows what really he's gonna do in anything. And like, we know he means nothing else. But like, you know, you mess with his people, you mess with his nation, he'll come for you. Like, don't do that. Don't be stupid. That was already done, and the entire nation is now in ruins that tried to attack him. And essentially, they're planning to take over it from the inside. So it's, like, very interesting to see that unfold. Alright, I think that gets this area very nicely. I think I actually want to shave this down a little bit. I don't think that looks super good. Alright, I know it's a ridge, but the ridge looks better than what was there before. Once again, it's going to be covered anyways. Okay. Should probably start fixing some of this outer edge. So right now, that doesn't look super great. I want to get this looking very, very nice. Where is it? It's a very, very fun anime to watch, so I'd highly recommend. Honestly, even if you're not really big onto the anime scene, I think it's a really good one. Well, honestly, ironically, Attack on Titan is one I typically say is a really good starter anime. Like, if you want to get into anime, watch Attack on Titan. And if you don't like Attack on Titan, then anime is probably not for you. Okay, and the reason I say Attack on Titan is because it doesn't have any fan service, right? And that's mainly characters that are drawn more explicit, specifically because of its target audience. And Attack on Titan doesn't do that at all. So it's like a lot of people, when they want to stay away from anime, it's not because they don't like the story or anything. It's just they don't like the idea of the fan service, which I don't either. I'm not on board with it either. But, you know, I just kind of look past it and, you know, don't really care that much about it. And if it affects me, then I stop watching, right? I'm not stupid, okay? But a lot of people think it's not good in that way, and so they stray away from it. And I'm like, well, you're missing out on a whole lot of fun stuff here, guys. You're missing out on a lot of cool stuff. Right? Because there's a lot of good stories that could be told through anime. And now you're just kind of giving them all up. So Attack on Titan doesn't have any of that. That'll get them hooked. If it doesn't, I don't really know that many people who watch anime who don't like Attack on Titan. Because it was so well done. Like, I think it had some of the biggest plot twists I've ever seen. There's only been one plot twist that I've ever watched that has been greater than the Attack on Titan plot twist, which I won't explain the Attack on Titan one because it's still, like, the final season is still relatively new, but it's very interesting. The symbolism of how the finale kind of goes about is amazing, and it tells a really cool story. It relates to real life and events that have happened in real life, mainly with things like the Holocaust and all of that, because you have one race of people subjugating another race of people is one of the big themes, which is something we saw in the Holocaust. So it's definitely like using that as an inspiration while going a step further. And so you get like just the way humanity works. It's really well done. And it's also really, really well drawn as well. Very fun to watch. Though, it did have a studio change for the final season. So it might look a little bit different in the final season, but not to a crazy degree. Yeah, I think that still looks good. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then the other one that had the big plot twist in it was One Piece. It had such a big plot. There were actually a couple times where I'm like, I genuinely did not see that coming, which surprised me heavily, because it's One Piece. One Piece is a very long anime, as most people know. So it's very interesting to see to have things happen that you genuinely did not expect, because what was I about to say? What was I just about to say? Oh boy, I'm blanking. Oh yeah, because it's such, I wouldn't say like a cookie cutter at all. But you know, there are parts in it that it's like, it's very repetitive in its storytelling. Like, you know the main character is gonna fight, he's gonna almost lose, and he's gonna win. That's pretty standard for storytelling. You know, that happens all the time. But then there were like times where they do some things that were completely out of the blue, and I did not see that coming. Like it sets itself up. It sets the world up in a way that it's like, okay, this is how the normal storytelling goes. So when it doesn't follow its own rhythm of storytelling, and it completely derails, and it's like, yep, we're doing this now. It's like, wait, what? What? It was insane. Okay, I'm going to talk to you about some of them. Spoiler warning for those of you who are watching One Piece, because I will spoil it if you haven't seen some areas. Okay. There's a specific arc in One Piece where our main characters go to an island called Zou. And there they meet a group of people who were completely ransacked and ambushed by a group of pirates, trying to find a dude named Rizzo, right? And these people were not, they had no idea who this was or anything like that. And this pirate, just completely destroyed everything, destroyed the city, killed a lot of people, all that kind of stuff. Horrible and atrocious, right? And of course, our main characters come with two samurai, who, and by the way, the Rizzo was a samurai as well. So there's like a part of it that's like, you know, you can see where this is gonna go, right? You know, they're gonna waltz in. The main character, Luffy, and the crew, and these samurai are gonna waltz on in, or at least some of the crew knows that they don't want to talk about the samurai because of what happened with Rizzo. And so they're like, you know, we can't do that. The samurai arrive, they meet the leaders, right? And you're expecting a big out war to happen because they just got nearly killed. And then, you know, you add salt to the wound. These samurai come to Zou and are like, we are looking for Rizzo. And then the two leaders, the two chieftains of this city, sit down and they tell him Rizzo is well. He was there the whole time. And I was like, what? I never saw that coming. Not in a million years did I ever see that coming. That was the craziest plot twist ever, because you're so expecting it to be, you know, the typical funny moment of he's not here, you know what I mean? And then it's kind of like a misunderstanding kind of war, but it's also like an annoyance thing. And then, you know, it's like, okay, well, now we gotta find this guy. No, he was there the whole time. They were sacrificing themselves. All of the people knew, the people of this city knew that he was there, and they all, even the children, kept it a secret because they have a good relationship with the clan that the samurai come from. So, boy, did I not see that coming. That was crazy. It was the biggest plot twist. And another one was when an ally betrayed the people. I did not see that coming at all. That there was a betrayer among the main cast of characters. And it was also a character we've been with for a while now. So, like, I didn't even suspect them one bit. I was expecting, when they mentioned that there was somebody, a traitor, I was like, oh, I bet it's one of the newer people that we just met. And it wasn't. I was like, what? It was them the whole time? One Piece has thrown me in for a loop, dude. The only thing that's a problem now is that the dub is done. So now I have to wait for the next episode to come out dubbed. And I'm still in Wano. And I have like 100 episodes ahead of this point, and it's dubbed from this point on. They're going very slowly. It's crazy. I'd expect them to have it done by now, but nah. Some crazy stuff, I tell ya. Honestly, I've become so desensitized to, like, film and storytelling that I can see a lot of stuff like coming from a mile away. I'm like, yep, saw that happening. It's funny because we were watching a movie. My parents and I were watching a movie the other day in theaters and everything, and like there was a scene that happened. I forgot which one it was, but I was like, yep, totally saw that coming. You know, I knew that was gonna happen. And then my dad was like, I did not expect that to happen at all. And it was just kind of funny because I'm like, nope, that was very obvious to me that that was going to happen. But to my dad, it was like completely out of the blue. I'm like, very interesting. I thought it was obvious. Alright, that makes that nicer. More worthy to be built on. Very much, very much. Alright, let's go over here. Well, let me grab the shulker boxes and everything. Don't want them to be over here. I'm gonna shove these shulker boxes in here. Just so I don't have to carry them with me. I only have a couple out at a time. One thing that's annoying is picking up all these seeds. Ugh. Like right here is another space where very exciting to see all this progress being taken place. Yeah, this is why I like anime. Because, like, I feel like American TV shows nowadays just are really bad at being entertaining. The storytelling isn't very clever. Any time they introduce romance, it's always done very poorly. And I think will give a lot of people a very poor impression of what romance and like, love is actually supposed to be. and they'll give people like false hopes and be, you know, they're like straight up lying to you about what it is and all of that. I like anime because it does it a lot better. Like even romance is done way better, much slower, you know, a snail's pace in comparison, which I think is truly how it works. You know, it's quite annoying watching an American TV show and, like, you know, two people meet, they fall in love, and next thing you know they're in bed together already. I'm like, come on. That's not realistic in the slightest. And you're like, now you're making people think that's actually how it's gonna work. And then they'll get a rude awakening when they realize that women typically aren't that, you know, lenient. They're not just gonna immediately be like, yeah. I mean, same unto guys, but it's typically guys onto women. So it just gives, I think it just gives men a very poor idea of what, you know, a relationship and what love is supposed to look like. Because they have this idea that it's just, you know, meet a girl, make her have a good time, and then you can take her home. Like, it's not how it works, and that's not how you should treat women in the slightest. You know, you should grow up to respect them and, you know, treat them with dignity and chivalry. That's how it should be. Read the Bible. It'll give you a good definition of what love is supposed to be. Read Song of Solomon. Actually, maybe not read Song of Solomon. You probably won't understand it. I mean, it's a love poem. Alright, well. So that's kind of an issue I have with that. A lot of times I'm watching anime and I'm like, I want two characters to get together already, and they won't confess that they love each other, and I'm like, come on, we all know it, we all know it, just confess your love for each other, and they just won't do it. I'm like, come on, I'm begging you. And that's it. Innocent love, you know? What a wonderful thing it is when love is done right. So I'm in a film major, right? I'm very excited. I hope I can make TV shows and movies and actually do this kind of stuff. And I want to do a like a romantic comedy or something like that that isn't inappropriate and doesn't deal with those stereotypes, or maybe actually have it be the rude awakening where it's like that's what they think should happen, and then they're like, no, this is how it should be, and then, you know, it's all cutesy and you're just sitting there like, aw. Be very lovely. Yep. Those are the issues I have with modern media these days. Why I like anime. Because just live action TV shows just disappoint me. And I've gotten also really used to the 20-minute formatting of anime. Because every single anime is always 20-minute long episodes with one break in the middle, kind of. Like with the website I use to watch anime, there are no commercials. So the break just kind of happens, but there is one there. But like, just, you know, I watch. It's really hard to get into TV shows nowadays, live action ones, because I would start watching it and I'm like, you know, I get to the 20-minute mark and I'm like, all right, I'm done. You know, because it's a 40-minute episode or sometimes an hour-long episode. I'm like, they're not captivating enough because they take a lot of time to drag things out and drag the story out. And I'm like, I want a much more fast-paced story to be told. I prefer quicker-paced things, but I also do things like typically really quickly. Oh, it's nighttime. I should probably shreepeth. Right? So I'm a very like fast-paced person in general. So I don't really want to take the time for the story. I want something interesting happen, something funny to be said, or even there are times where I do like more dramatic stuff, but I do prefer like much quicker pace and action. And the only reason I prefer action is just because I think it's more fun to watch. You know, you watch something that's slower and it's slower. So it's like, okay, well, get to the point already. But there are times where I'm like, I genuinely like this because it's dramatic or something. I'm trying to think of an example of a more dramatic movie that I like. I mean, I like Phantom of the Opera, which that one's a lot slower in terms of things. There's a specific movie I'm trying to think of. Oh, A Silent Voice. That's a really good movie. Now that's an anime movie. Highly recommend that. That is so good. But that's more on the side of like drama, kind of a romance in a way. Not exactly. It's very weird romance. Just because it's one of those romances where it's like, okay, you have this one character who's a child, you know, you have this one the character who was a bully, right? So you're following his story now. So you're following his story, his point of view, right? And, you know, we meet up with this girl that was, that's deaf. And, you know, he used to bully this girl in elementary school. Then she left, and, you know, he went to middle school, and then he got bullied in middle school. You know, got depression. Now he can't look anyone in the eye because of it. And now he has, like, all the regret and all that. You know, starts the movie off by trying to commit suicide, right? So that's how you start the movie, and it's like, whoa. And it's just like, it's then him meeting the deaf girl. He's learned sign language now, and he wanted to apologize to her. And there's some really cool stuff. I don't want to talk too much about it, because I would highly recommend watching it. Because it's such a good movie. It's not a fast pace, it's not action. It's a very slow and more dramatic story. But it's very, very good, very well done. There's actually some cool like foreshadowing and everything with like the sign language, which I think is really cool. Yeah, I could. There's such good stuff. The first anime I ever actually watched was One Punch Man. That was I really liked that one. I'm waiting for season 3, but I don't know if there will be a season 3. Just because we haven't gotten that far yet. And so I'm like, wait, I don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me back up. I don't know what I was just saying words, but I didn't know what they meant. We have gotten that far in the story. Obviously, there's 2 seasons. I don't know if there's a studio out right now that actually is going to produce a season 3. And then of course it needs to be dubbed, because I like watching dubbed. So I'm kind of waiting right now on One Punch Man. I now need to make this cave entrance a little bit bigger. Which eventually I'm probably just going to put a house on top of this place. Because I don't see any reason not to do that. Yeah, but that's also, that was a really good starter anime. But it does have some pretty interesting bits in it. But like, yeah, that was a really good one. My Hero Academia is also really good. One recommendation with My Hero is don't pay attention to the fan art or anything like that, because those people are weird and they've ruined the anime for a lot of people, because people are like, you know, somebody says My Hero Academia and they think of the fans and the fan art and all that stuff, and they're like, this is really weird stuff, I don't want to watch it. And I'm like, nope, that's literally in the anime, has nothing to do with what the fans, they're just crazy people. Okay, they're just crazy. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just being weird and wacko. Don't listen to it, okay? Watch the anime. It's really good. Never look at fan art, because it's really bad. just focus on the anime itself. Really good stuff. Assassination Classroom was a little bit of a slower action anime. It was good. I probably wouldn't watch it again. It was just there were some areas that were a little bit slower than others, and it wasn't super interesting. But it was still kind of cool to see. Nonetheless, you know. It had actually a really cool plot twist in that as well. So that one is also very important to the story, so I'm not going to spoil that. Jujutsu Kaisen's another really good one. Honestly, I watched the first season, I wasn't super impressed with it. But rewatching it with the first season with my dad and then watching season 2, that was pretty fun and enjoyable to do again. That one has some pretty cool story to it. And actually, I'm now kind of interested in how they're going to do season 3. You know a character is really strong when they can't kill them and they have to seal them away. So that's, like, anytime you see that in anime, it's like, ah, yes, they're too strong. So I'm kind of curious what's going to happen in season 3 with the events that took place in 2. Welcome back, Proto. Haikyuu is also another good one. That's about volleyball. So if you like volleyball, that's a fun one to watch. That one's pretty action-packed, but I mean, you know what's gonna happen in the story. You know what I mean? You watch sports anime. Typically, it's, you know, they're gonna win. So like, you kind of know that's gonna happen. You know that's coming. So that's always a little unfortunate with that. Is like you always know that the main characters that you're watching are gonna win. It's like, okay, well, it's not super duper interesting, because it's like, okay, there's no grit to this. There's no, you know what I mean? But it still got me at the edge of my seat a few times. Like, how are they gonna pull it out? You know they're gonna win, but how? So that's always a fun thing with these. This one's gonna be the biggest pain to try to figure out. How to terraform this section. That's going to be the big spot. We've got a lot of the other areas, but getting this inner bit is definitely going to be the biggest challenge when it comes to the terraforming. But so ready for it. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Is it raining? I think it's raining right now. In game, that is. It's probably good. Yeah, when it comes to this back end, I don't really know how to terraform this because I have all of this area. How do I want to do this? Alright, guys, well, I'm gonna get rid of the horseshoe here. I don't like the way that looks. Alright, I gotta get rid of this stone. I know this is for planning for builds and stuff, but that was... I planned and then realized I needed to terraform and fix the land before I can even plan. So I gotta tear this all out so I can terraform again. But I'll forever know that I wanted to do stuff here, okay? I know I want to do a pathway here. I want to build the pumpkin patch because I'm gonna have a pathway leading right to the pumpkin patch. But this building right here is definitely in the way. That one might not be. But if it starts to get in the way, I'll yeet it. I do have to go to the bathroom as well, so I might go and do that in a second. I gotta use the Bangerino. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I moved the fan so it's actually like facing me. Okay. Some of my path is gonna get covered up, but that's okay. Worth. Okay. I should do that very naturally. Well, we've almost got this whole area terraformed, so that's actually really cool. We're doing pretty well on the terraforming side of things. Very nice indeed. And then tomorrow, we're gonna live stream at 1. Gotta do a little bit of yard work though. So I gotta make sure I get some of that in. I'm gonna do that in the morning, but I do also want to record a little bit for YouTube. Maybe edit a little bit more than record. And then of course, 7 o'clock Thursday night, Phasmophobia with the siblings. I keep hyping it up. It's gonna be so much fun. Oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward to this. I can't wait to give the rundown of everything we're going to do, okay? I got like a whole plan on how we're going to do things. Because I have all the basic stuff. Nothing can be set up. Nothing can be done from the truck, really. Other than like watching Sanity and the EMF monitor that's on there. That could be helpful, but there's also the one in game. So like, here's what I'm thinking. We have somebody that stands in the room with the dots projector. And they just stand there for a little while. Until we can clearly identify that there's no dots. The only issue is Agorio. It does use dots projector, but they don't show themselves if somebody's in the room, or I think watching. So they'll only show themselves on camera, which is going to be really hard when you don't have a tripod. So we just got to hope that that doesn't happen. But Gorios also don't leave their room. So I think as long as everything happens within the room, it might be a Gorio. Whereas if we do see dots, we know it's not a Gorio because they only show themselves not on camera. So that's going to be pretty fun. I am going to need to remove this to terraform this way. Okay, that's fine. I don't want it there anyways. Okay, then we need somebody else to be on camera duty and to stand there to look out for ghost orbs. Though the light might need to be off for that. So that's a bit unfortunate. Then someone needs to be on spirit box duty as well on lights duty. Lights duty as in the breaker. I'm thinking whoever's on the spirit box also does that. Is like breaker duty, making sure if the ghost turns the breaker off, that they would turn it back on, because if the breaker's off, then the sanity kind of drops a little. which isn't the greatest. So yeah, I'm just very excited for somebody being on like dots duty and having the ghost like walk in the dots and then they freak out because of it. I can't wait for something like that to happen, or ghost storms, or an event and then somebody has to be on camera duty and take pictures of things, and then somebody needs to make sure that they're checking UV and ghost writing and freezing temps is something that anyone can check and just kind of do that. You made such a good animation. Hey, let's go. Is it another iteration of the ball, or did you do something new? It's gonna be great. I'm very excited for it. Gonna get everybody playing Phasmophobia. I'm surprised out of all the games, this is the game that we're all gonna play together. Another one that could be really good to play together, like Pico Park, is a puzzle-related game. Maybe I could try to get them to do more content with me, that like more 4-player specific games. Played Up actually could be a good one. Like, I think it would have to be very simple games where like it's not very complex. Like Minecraft is a little too complex where you have to do a whole bunch of stuff. Played Up is a lot more simple in terms of what you actually do. I mean, you literally you got your plates and you do stuff. And that's it. So it's like it's relatively simple with what you actually have to do. These are all filled with dirt. Okay. So that's kind of nice. But like I think Raft and No Man's Sky, like those other multiplayer games, probably are a little too complex. But Pico Park is puzzles and you do all of that. It's basic movements. That one's like basic as basic can be. Phasmophobia, there's just a lot of head knowledge that you'll only get from experience. But in terms of like you walk around, you place things down, you stand there, you watch, you're looking out for things. You know what I mean? That's really it. And movement. Every game is going to have movement. So like that can be counted as complex. So I mean there's all that. Honestly, Lethal Company and Content Warning are also, they're very similar in terms of the concept of the game, like just stupid things to do with friends kind of thing. It's a game built off of non-seriousness, Those I feel like could be, but those are also a lot stranger and more runny kind of thing, whereas Phasmophobia is relatively slow-paced, unless you're in harder modes, which we won't be doing. We'll be doing the more simple. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot better. Oh boy. This is the part that concerns me, is trying to figure out what the frig I'm doing here. Alright, well, there's no point wasting time. Let's go ahead and try to do this. Let me get the stone away. We'll reshape things when we actually need to do planning, which could be tomorrow. It is 10 o'clock right now, so I don't know if I'm going to go for another hour. I might, honestly. I don't see why I would stop. Doing a lot, getting a lot of stuff done. I know. I mean, I feel like the evidence is there that content creation is something I should keep going with, because like I'm feeling like I can stream a lot longer. I feel like viewership is going up. All that kind of stuff. Community's growing. Everything you want to see as a content creator right now is happening. So I'm like, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. A dog can't make this journey alone, but maybe a wolf can. We're gonna fill this in. Might seem like a waste of dirt, probably is, but I don't. It's easier to fill in, because then you can actually like see the ground filling up, and it's easier to terraform that way than to try to go over, because it's so floaty. And then if you try to break away and place or that, it's a lot easier to do that. So that's nice. I'm moving the big wooden block. Pull it back towards me. It's funny because my mouse pad, I think, is too big for this piece of wood. It's a big rectangle. Good for a desk, but not really good when you have a smaller area. I think a much smaller mouse pad would do, because like the actual size of the wood piece is the same size as it's the same size as the keyboard. It's about the same exact width, ironically. It's really cool because it just fits right on top. But then the mouse pad's much bigger, and so I have enough space to use a mouse with, you know, because I'm not really moving the mouse that crazy, and I haven't gone off of the wood piece before with the mouse, and my hand's always holding it, so it's not even like that would really matter. Alrighty, well, we're almost to the top. Alright. Alright, we are gonna have to sleep in a little bit. That's okay. It'd be nice to have all these areas filled in, though. Mucho excitado. That's not a Spanish word. Don't use that. I don't even know what I was saying. I was trying to say excited, but I didn't actually know what the word for excited was in Spanish. I'm not fluent, I'm just bilingual, okay? Yes, there is a difference. I know 2 languages, but I'm not fluent in Spanish. But I know a good chunk and I can understand it. I need to get better at my Spanish. Which is funny, because I could actually try to talk to my brother-in-law in Spanish, because he's from Guatemala. I tried using Duolingo to better my Spanish, but then Duolingo got woke on me, and I was like, I see where your allegiance lies, and I don't agree with that. It doesn't align with the Bible, so unfortunately I can't really support you. Which I know I'm not paying money to you at all, but by using you, you're making money off of me being able to continue. That's where the root of the problem lies. Don't get me wrong, I'm mad with the behavior, because I've noticed that, not just, alright, we're gonna get highly opinionated, okay, guys, but this is my stream, so I can talk about whatever the heck I want, okay? I don't like the behavior of the LGBTQ community, right? I don't like that behavior. It does not align with the Bible. That's what sexual immorality is and impurity is. That's exactly what that is. And so the Bible is very clear against it and says not to. However, the people themselves, I have no issue with. And so it's just one of those things where, like, you know, if there's an institution that supports it, you know, you don't want to support them. You don't want to give them money, because then they'll be able to continue forth, like Disney. So, though the problem is, the thing I've noticed is that straight people sometimes are even more gay than actual gay people are. They show it a lot more. They act the same way, and then I realized that the behavior was the same, and said, well, hey guys, the Bible says not to behave this way, not to be sexually immoral or impure. So why are we doing these things? Why are we acting and behaving this way if we're explicitly told not to? So it's very interesting, and it's a tough place for me. Because, like, people do it because it's funny and all of that and blah, 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 whatever the heck they want to use as an excuse. But there's no justification. The Bible's very clear about not doing that. So it's just one of those things where it's like, come on, let's try. It even says, like, let there be no filthiness, nor foolishness, nor crude joking, which are out of place, but instead let there be thanksgiving. For you can be sure of this, that anyone who is sexually immoral, impure, or who is covetous, that is an idolater, has no inheritance in the kingdom of God or Christ. That's Ephesians 5:4 and 5. Right? So it's very clear very clear on what to do and what not to do. And things like crude joking. That's why I don't like inappropriate joking. It's always made me uncomfortable. Then there was a time where it happened so much around me, I got desensitized to it. I've luckily resensitized myself to it, to the point where I'm like, I don't want this. And so now it's like inappropriate joking is up there with swearing. I hear somebody swear, I'm like, okay. And swearing is honestly an interesting topic when it comes to, like, Christians and that, because it's not explicit whether or not you should. There are instances where the Bible specifies not to curse, but that's not really like curse words as a curse. It's a weird area. I don't agree with it because I think Christians should be held to a different standard. We're being an imitator of Christ, and it's like, well, would Christ use such foul language? I don't think he would, and I think we ought to be different than everyone else. So by swearing, we're not very different from everyone. We're kind of like everyone else. And and the reason we justify swearing, well, everyone else is doing it. It's normal. Well, if it's a normal thing to do, then we should not do it because we're Christian. Because we're supposed to be different. Not better. Let me make it clear that we're not supposed to be better. We're supposed to be different, which is holy is to be set apart, is the more exact of a definition. So that's kind of our goal. Now the products we produce should be better because we shouldn't be doing it for monetary gain or anything like that, but to do it for the glorification of God. So those are just some of the things where it's like curse words are kind of like, okay, we should try not to, because we're Christian and we should be different. We want people to be like, okay, you're different than everyone else. And I want to know why. Why are you so different? Why are you, not swearing? Why are you doing this? Why does it matter? And then you can be like, well, allow me to explain. It doesn't really matter how we do this because I'm going to fill this in anyway, so I can just put a line there and continue going forward. So that's kind of like where I stand on that front. And so it's the same kind of thing there. I mean, even going back to like the LGBT community, like a lot of times, and I think they have every right to be mad at us because we have treated them in a way that they themselves are the problem and are the enemy. But it's the sin all the same, and like things like crude joking, well, that's sinning right there. You know what I mean? We all sin, we all make mistakes. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, now when I look at it, I'm like, being a part of, having that behavior is no different than making an inappropriate joke. Because they're both said not to be done. They're both right there. Paul tells us not to do those things. So it's not like you're anything special necessarily. It's just it falls into the same category as any other sin. So would any kind of alcoholism or drug abuse, all that kind of stuff is also up there at the same level. Nothing is greater, nothing is worse. Heck, murder. There is no sin greater than another sin except blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. That is actually specified. So that's the worst sin you could ever commit. That's the only one that's ranked differently. It's the unforgivable sins, blasphemy against the Holy Spirit. I think that's in Acts. I can't remember where that verse is, but I know it's in there. So you have that, but every other sin, other than that one, is all on the same level, including murder all the way to a lie, are ranked the same, meaning you can be forgiven from them in the same way. And so it's the same thing with sexually immoral behavior. And that also goes for the same kind of sexual immorality in a straight person's life. That's things like cheating and adultery. Like, it's not like sexually immorality is only to that to gay behavior. It's not subject to that alone. It's just that one's a much easier to point out in a way, you could say. But you can still find sexual immorality and impurity among straight men as well, and women. You know what I mean? You can still find it in other places. It's not, you're not the only ones. You're not special. You're not the only ones that are like this. And you're not the only ones that are sinning. Like, I think we also phrase it like, if you're gay, you're going to hell kind of thing. Like, no, if you sin and you don't have Christ, you're going to hell. But if you know Christ, then you're chilling. So, like, we phrase it in a way that makes them seem so much like a bad guy. And it's like, guys, let's chill. That's not what we're after here. God loves them. God loves all people. Doesn't matter how bad of a person they are, or how good of a person they are. He loves them all. No one more, no one less, right? He loved us so much that he sent his only begotten Son, so we shall not perish, but have everlasting life. John 3:16, right? So clearly, he loved us enough to sacrifice something so special to him that we would not perish. And to get it, all you have to do is believe and follow him. Is believe that Christ died for you, and then to follow out that relationship that you now have with God. Because of Jesus' death, you now have a hotline to the God. The God of Israel, the God that led Israel out of Egypt. You have access to that same God now through Christ. You can talk to him whenever, you know what I mean? Who's the only person that could barge into the king's room at 3 o'clock in the morning and not be beheaded? His son. His children can disrupt him because, well, they're his children. So there's this kind of relationship that you'll have with God that you can only have through Christ, and you can only have it through believing in him. But of course, James says that faith without works is dead. So in order to have a proper relationship, you need works, but the works themselves aren't what save you, which is what sets Christianity apart from every other religion, because I don't think there's another religion that doesn't rely on works to be saved. Every other religion is, you have to do this, and this, and you'll be good. As long as you follow all of these laws, all of these things, you'll be saved. In Christianity, it's like, as long as you believe that Christ died for you, and that your sins are forgiven through his blood, you're good. That's it. That's all it takes. Then baptism is a symbolic way of showing that you've been reborn and are now in Christ, working to glorify him and being an example of him and being an ambassador of the kingdom of heaven is another way you show that relationship that you have with God. And so it's not that those are requirements, but those are things you just do. I mean, if you love somebody, you're gonna change the way you do things a lot to accommodate the fact that you love that person. You know what I mean? If somebody, let me try to think of a good example. I've never been in a relationship like that, so I don't really know off the top of my head what it would look like. But let's say both you and her don't like mowing the lawn, just as a simple example. Well, because you love her, you're going to mow the lawn because you do. You're not going to say, well, it has to be done, so let's alternate and all that. Nope, no finagling, none of that. You're just going to do it because you love her. And because you're willing to make the change for that. So you're going to do a work to show that I love you. And then you think of the actions you do and how what you do reflects on your parents and how your parents raised you. If you're a brat and you're not a good child or anything like that, well, it's going to reflect poorly on your parents. So if you do a bunch of sinful things, it's going to reflect poorly on God if you claim to be a Christian. And if you claim to be a Christ follower, it's going to reflect poorly on the God that you serve. Like, oh, he's okay with you doing this? He's okay with this behavior? No, not at all. He doesn't want sinful behavior in the slightest. So now you have to adjust the way you live because you want to be a better example to show people the love of Christ and the love of God. So it's like all of these are the kinds of things that happen because of the relationship that you have with God and with and the belief and the faith you have in Christ. So there's all of that, you know what I mean? And it's remaining faithful to him as well is another like key part, which, I mean, in any relationship you want to remain faithful to the person you have a relationship with, even friendships. Like, there's a certain level that you'll go to do things for your friends because, well, they're your friends. There you have the gospel kind of wrapped up there very neatly. That being said, anyone can be saved. As I said, like, there's not a person on this earth that can't be saved. Everyone has it. You know what I mean? And as we read in Romans, like, you do have to go out and preach the word, as Paul rhetorically asks, like, how are people supposed to know if you don't talk? How are people supposed to hear if you're not speaking? So, you have that where it's like, okay, well, now you have to act upon this. And of course, you have the great commandment, which is go into the earth, making disciples and baptizing them in the name of the Father, Holy Spirit, and Son, right? You have that as well. So we have a duty, we have a call to action on what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to be. So as much as, like, the Bible isn't necessarily a list of do's and don'ts, there sure are a lot of them in there, and they should not be taken lightly. Because I remember when I was in college, right, this last semester, or last year actually, a lot of people were exhibiting those, like, very crude joking, inappropriate jokings, being very sexually immoral with their words and the way they were acting and all of that. And I'm like, guys, we can't be doing this. So the Bible's very clear. And, like, I was trying to get people to stop being inappropriate, and somebody was like, hey, you need to stop taking this so seriously. And, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, hey, you need to stop taking this so lightly. You shouldn't take the Bible with a grain of salt. The Bible should be the main thing that guides how you live, because everything is there. I mean, it really is. It kind of is a guide on how to be and how to do things. So you shouldn't just be like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like, I'll do that. I'll do this. Like, no. You should definitely take this very seriously. Because if you don't take it seriously, then, like, how do you think that's going to reflect on who you are? So it's very interesting to me, because you have a lot of people that call themselves Christians, but they don't act like it. And there was a really great sermon, and I loved the title of it, where it was, we're children of God, so let's act like it. And I'm like, amen, brother. I wish we would do that more. Is like, we call ourselves children of God. Well, we don't. God does. When we believe in Christ, we're now children of God, right? So it's like, we're children of God. So let's be children of God. And I think sometimes we take it very lightly that's the case, and we kind of just live our lives like we always have, and nothing changes. It's like, come on, guys, let's remain faithful. I really want to give a sermon about this subject, and I know exactly what I want to call it. I'm going to call it homosexuality in the straight man's life. Okay? Because it's an oxymoron. And I want to express a lot of the points I made earlier are a lot of the things I want to talk about in that sermon, of just like, hey guys, the behavior is the same. The behavior is the issue. That's what's wrong here. So we can't behave the same way, because that's the sinful thing. We need to stop behaving that way and stop making it a normal thing, so that way the next generation won't do it. If you're acting like this all the way into your marriage, you don't want your kids to also act like that. There's a lot of things new Christian parents need to do to raise their kids right, to be firm in the Bible, because I think right now a lot of families are not raising their kids correctly in the way of Christianity. They're it's almost like traditional more than it is that relationship, and it's less of that, and they're not like the entertainment they're watching doesn't really help with the whole mission of like, let's try to get everything sinful out of here. It's like, it's fine, you know, but as a kid, you're growing up, you're watching this entertainment. It's a lot of programming that's going into their mind. And during my cinema class, I learned that there's 18,000 hours of this programming that goes on of just like everything you watch and how it affects who you are and how it changes who you are. And, you know, you grow up and you know the things you know, and certain things are normal to you that aren't to other people because it was in your entertainment. And you grew up as it being normal. So as, like, parents, you need to make sure that your kids aren't watching stuff that you don't agree with. You can't say, oh, I don't agree with this movement, and then watch some kind of film that has characters that are a part of it, and then be like, you know, this is fine, because, well, your kid's going to grow up thinking that's fine because it's in the movie. It's normalizing the LGBTQ community. It's normalizing poor relationships with just in general. Poor examples of love. It's showing that swearing isn't a bad thing at all. It's all, especially children swearing, isn't a bad thing at all. It's also showing that there's like age is only a construct as well. You know, ever since the beginning of film, there's always been a 15 to 20 year age gap in between characters. That's how old and young the main characters are, or love interests are, is a 15 to 20 year age gap, which is crazy to think about. That's a lot of time. That's half a generation of time right there. You should definitely try to find somebody who's more in your age range, because one, you'll probably like the same stuff, but also it'll just work out a lot better. It's crazy, man. Some of these things, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's probably more in there that we just don't realize because we're so normalized to it at this point that we don't realize that it's even wrong to begin with, or we have no issue with it. And I'm probably no exception to this. It's not like all the entertainment I watch is perfect. I know there's some things that could be better with what I watch, but it's hard to pick out what they are exactly. You know, I'm not perfect, so I can't get it all right, but at least I know what I should be doing. Oh, yeah. Alright, well, we got the majority of this spot done and dusted. I don't know, maybe I should... Once again, I feel like I could just keep going. Just keep doing this. I just finished Revelation. That was pretty fun. I was reading that for my devotional. And this part, I was just doing a read-through, right? Instead of actually, like, writing anything down or, like, truly, like, studying it. Now I'm going to go into Daniel, read through that, and write stuff down in that, and see if I remember anything from Revelation that relates to what I'm reading in Daniel. And then I'm going to read, I think, Matthew and then Ezekiel. And then after those two, I'm going to read Revelation again. I know we're being crazy. We're going to read it again and reference anything in those books I just mentioned. Then we're going to go through Isaiah and the minor prophets. And then I'm going to read Revelation again. And at the end of it, we're going to see what we know and what I can compile and understand from all of these. Probably not a lot, because I'm not really a studier type, so it doesn't come naturally to me. So I'm probably not going to get anything profound. But it'll still be interesting to gain that knowledge and to have a better understanding of the book. And because I would have read Revelation 3 times, I'd hopefully be a little bit well-versed in it. For when I get back to college, I could actually talk to people about it. And then after Revelation, I'm going to read Song of Solomon, but I'm going to look at it through the lens of Christ and the church, and do that. And then I'm going to read through, I think it's Jude, then Ephesians. I'm going to do a study through Ephesians. I think that would be pretty fun to do. And I have no idea at what point I'm going to be done reading these in college. because I soon will be also going through Acts. Since I'm a part of the hall leadership, I'll be leading a Bible study, and so we'll be going through the book of Acts, and I need to make sure that I'm a little bit well versed in that. That's actually an interesting idea. What if I studied the Bible live on stream? It'd be a very interesting stream. But it'd be a great way. I could study Acts on stream. Just like, alright, let's go through Acts, guys. I could send it to some of the other hall leadership. Be like, hey guys, I'm gonna study Acts live on stream if you want to join me and add wisdom. And add your side of the story and just kind of go through it. That'd be pretty fun, actually. I kind of like that. I'd have to get a Bible app on, or not app. I think I could just get something online, go through it, and do that. What are we looking at here with this? I think I'm gonna fill this up and then figure out what to do with these upper bits. I'm gonna get rid of this little square here. This isn't good. But I think that would be very interesting. I wonder how many people would actually like turn up to that. Not that that's gonna change my mind on doing it. I'll still do it. Because I mean, I'm doing it selfishly to study the Book of Acts. It's always interesting looking at selfishness and sometimes doing things selfishly, but like for a good cause. Like sometimes, like I like doing Bible studies and all of that kind of stuff. And like, you know, I look at the fact that I'm a part of the hall leadership, and I'm like, I'm a part of it selfishly because I want to learn more about the Bible myself. So I became a CGL so that I could learn about the Bible while talking to other people, because I learn best when I'm talking about it and being more verbal and like talking with other people about it in that way. I'm a lot better in that way. So it's like there's that part of me that's like, I'm being a little selfish here because I want to use you guys to help me study the Bible better, is what I'm doing. But like at the same time, I'm also helping you with that, because now you're also learning more, and we're able to both discuss, and theoretically we're both learning. So that's kind of nice. But I think I honestly might do that, where I'll straight up I'll just go through Acts live on stream. Maybe next week I could do that. Ooh, yeah. Though what could be fun is I could do that to start, like, in the start of a stream, is study through Acts, like a chapter or something like that. And then, or maybe not a chapter, maybe a section, because some of the chapters of Acts are really long. But I could go through, and as I said, I'm not a very good studier of anything, so I'm not like it's probably going to be relatively quick in terms of the study, but I'll be looking through the Greek and all of that kind of stuff, and seeing how things are phrased, what words are used, all of that. Try to get as much information out of it as possible. I don't know if I should write physically or if a Word document will do the job. Actually, I'm going to do it in a Google Doc so I can use it so I can look at it on my phone. Because Word, I think you can do Word on the phone, but it doesn't really work very well. Especially like sometimes if you click on a Word document and through a link, it gets very glitched out. It's not good. I wonder if any of my other hall leadership would show up to that. If I said, hey guys, I'm gonna go through Acts live on stream if you want to join me. Wonder how many people would actually join that. It would be really funny to see people like they're like, hey, I'm this person, like, oh sweet, welcome on in. We're just studying through Acts here. Using, I mean, this is to glorify God after all, so there's, I don't see why I can't do that. And maybe I could make a YouTube video out of it. Like, my understanding of Axe after doing it live on stream. I could then do a condensed version. Like, if you ever want to be a part of, these. Ooh, ooh, I like that. So I go through I go through a chapter live on stream. Or a section, sorry, I should specify section. If it's a short chapter, we'll do the whole chapter. Otherwise, we'll do like a whole section or story. We'll go through all of that. You know, we'll do all the references and all that. And then afterwards, I'll make, maybe not directly afterwards, but I'll make a video on my understanding of the first passage of Acts. And kind of go through explaining a lot of the topics I went over. And a lot of the stuff I wrote down. Like, okay, tune in the next time for another going through of Acts. That could be very fun. Be very interesting as well. I like that idea. See what happens. We'll see if anybody joins me and wants to watch the videos or anything. I'm like, alright guys, here we go. Anybody wants to watch these videos? There you go. It's my understanding, my going through of Acts. I don't know how long it would take. I know there's a study method where you go almost like word by word and you try to understand everything. And you're like, okay, what is this? How does this affect? What does this relate to? You do that in a verse. Like, imagine doing that to an entire passage. Right? That would be crazy. I've thought about it, but I'm like, that's a lot of work, and it's not really my forte to do those kinds of things. So I don't know how well it would turn out, but it could still be fun and interesting to do. This is also another area that I have to terraform. Probably shave that off. Put it back into this area. Get rid of the horseshoe here. So probably gonna connect these two up. Fix this a little bit. Obviously that'll be fixed. Connect this up. Connect that up. And then that, I don't really know what to do with. I'll figure it out. Hey, now. Let's chill. Let's see. Okay. I don't mind the ridge as much. We'll just deal with it. It'll be fine. I don't know how much longer I want to go. I'm not feeling tired yet. So I feel like I could keep going, but like at the same time, it is very late. It is indeed very, very late, okay? I know tomorrow's stream is probably going to seem like a very short stream because I doubt we're going to go. I doubt they're going to want to play for 4 hours, especially, well, all of them have jobs and have to wake up earlier, so they'll probably just want to go to like 9 o'clock at most. I don't even know if we'll last that long. I don't know how many games they're going to want to play. I hope they're not going to be done at like one game. We play one game and they're like, all right, that was fun. Let's wrap it up. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. let's chill down. Let's chill down. There's more we could do. We gotta upgrade, okay? They're just like, all right, we're done. Like, whoa, 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 wait a second. Wait. I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, because then I have to refigure it out when I get this all figured out. Oh, I did 4. That's fine. Yeah, and it doesn't have to only be Acts. I could do other books of the Bible, and that's separate from my personal studies as well, from my devotionals. It'll be a whole separate thing. I'm not going to lump it together and be like, all right, instead of a devotional, I'm going to do this. I'll do it in combination with. Who knows? Maybe some of them will be really interested in that and want to do like a call, and like we'll both sit down, essentially do like a mini Bible study, study it together. I'll be live, and all of that. It'll all be recorded in case I want to go back to it, and then write stuff down, take notes, and then make a video, kind of like a summary of the stream and after doing the stream, here's what I now understand about this passage of Acts. Here, as I just said, my understanding of Acts. And, I could always re-go over books as well. And maybe once I'm done going through the semester, when we go through all of Acts, maybe I'll make an updated version of my new understanding of Acts after doing this. And that way you can kind of, see the differences and like, okay, well, here's how I understand it now. I think that could be interesting. Now I can combine two things I love doing, is live streaming and studying the Bible to a degree. As I said, I'm not a studier, so you put study something or research it, I'm like, ew, don't really like doing those things. You put a word I really liked, and then you put a word I really didn't like. Put the Bible in there, I'm like, yeah, and they're like, research it. I'm like, ugh. Research? I hate research, guys. It's so boring. I don't care. I want the compiled stuff. But studying the Bible, like, isn't affected the same way. But, like, when it comes to relating things to specific dates and stuff, it's like, I'd rather listen to somebody else tell me, and that's my research, is going to somebody else and asking them, hey, what's the answer? That's why I like math, because you just do it all there. Whereas like science, English, history, it's all about the research and about knowledge. Like math, you do the work. It's the action. Man, this pillow is really starting to get flattened. Ah! Did I pick it up? I did. I don't even know how I'd format a video like that or how I would do that. Because, like, you think of things like the Bible Project, and they all draw it out and all that. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I'm not an artist by any means, so, like, there's no visual way I could show you, but I could just talk about it. I don't know. I could experiment around with things. See what works, see what doesn't. I could always be good. Have to pick that up. I did get. Alright, well, here we are at second to final layer. That's kind of nice. Getting to the second to final layer there. Woot woot. Alright, we gotta get this all done and dusted, eh? Maybe I could even use the accents in some way. I want to use my accents in videos of some, and do something with them a little bit specialer. I think that could be fun. All right. That's that filled in. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get the next line done so I can figure out where to fill in all the other stuff. I think I'm going to do it from over here because this one's a little bit more secure. It leaves a lot there, but then again, this is also just like floating there. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Just gotta buff this out a little bit. And I think we're pretty good. Get that mostly done. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of thinking right now about, like, how exactly I could adapt. You know, the streams themselves would be pretty self-explanatory. I literally just have the Bible in front of me, I read it, and then I write things down, and that's about it. And I could even have captures of those specific monitors, so that way I could have, you know, the two things up. Or actually, no, I could just have it on top of each other and still just have it capturing one window. So we read, then we write down anything that needs to be written down. I know I could do side-by-side windows, but those are a little bit small on this, on my monitor of stuff. On my laptop. It's a bit small. Oh, that's weird. Like, when I'm playing the game, I don't really see the size of the monitor, even when I look over and stuff. But then I, like, actually try to focus on the size of the monitor. And it's, like, taking myself out of the world and everything. I'm like, what is going on? Felt really weird doing that. Yeah, this terrain is very different from when we started with it. Much flatter, much easier to work with. And then we're going to cover it all up, and you're probably going to forget I even changed anything. But, I mean, that's honestly the goal. If you can't notice it, I did a good job. Because if you can notice that something's been changed, then it's like, okay. Which if it does, like, if it looks normal, then I did something right. Because that's I want it to look semi-normal. Which, like, I know that I did that. So, like, a lot of times I can see the impurities. But if you're brand new to the stream or something, you might not realize that a lot of it was covered up. Especially, like, the iron farm now. And the fact that there used to be a ravine and all that there. Like, that being gone is actually really weird looking. Because it's been there for so long. And there's just, like, big holes in the ground. And now there's no holes in the ground. It looks kind of weird. And I got a sheep. I mean, I have no issue with staying up late. Because I ain't got nowhere to be tomorrow. I have to do yard work. And maybe some editing for my video. See if there's anything else I should do in the video. Or if I have enough footage for pilot. for the pilot episode. And some yard work, which I can do more in the morning. I just got to move some sticks around, honestly. I think that's really what I'm going to do is I have to move some of the branches that fell down during some of the thunderstorms, as well as get some of the branches closer to a bigger piece of wood. So when my dad's ready to use the chainsaw again, he has a much easier time with that. I got to rake some things up, got to clear some, there's one area that's really like brush. I gotta clean that up, all those leaves. Not super great. Okay, okay. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so good, doesn't it? I almost want to get rid of it, but at the same time, I don't know. Oh, I have, like, no clue what to do with this. Okay, let's first, like, do something like that. How's that? I think that'll make it look good. We'll just fill it in. It'll be fine. We're not gonna feed it anyway. But probably put a big old carrot farm on top of this. Well, maybe not actually. I need to figure out where the next farms are gonna go. I hope I have enough space to make them all, honestly. I do have all of the space back there. I really don't want to start any kind of foresty bits until I get all of my farms done. I want to get carrots, wheat, and then, of course, the pumpkin and melon farm. Beetroot is very useless to me, so there's no reason to have a beetroot farm unless I have space for it, but for the most part, I don't care. So I'm not going to bother with it. And then I have a cool idea for what I could do for a rice field, I think. I should probably try to build it in creative first to see if it actually looks like a rice field. Because if it doesn't, we got a problem. Another thing I could try doing is also playing Satisfactory again on stream. Because I haven't done that in a while. And Satisfactory is a good game. It's very fun. It might be worth doing that again. I don't know. I like Satisfactory. But I don't know. I just, like, I have my own world, right? And it's not a very interesting, like, in terms of what you do. Well, there's always something to do, so that's always nice. Like, you could just keep doing stuff, especially early game. Late game, there's maybe a little bit more waiting involved. Which, I mean, I do have the AFK streams. And that's always a possibility. The only issue is that, I can't exactly... Well, I guess I could cover up the main screen. Because I could, just pull the Chrome... Because the Genki Shadowcast goes through a website now. But I've noticed it's still a little glitchy with audio. A lot of times I have to unplug it and do a whole bunch of stuff until eventually I get the audio working. Because it just won't work. And I don't know why it keeps doing that. It's really annoying and it's worrying me. Because I just bought this the second edition, thinking things are going to be fixed. And it's not. So it's like, did I waste my money? Did I even need to buy an upgrade? Or was I fine with my old one? Maybe I'm starting to think that I didn't need to do this. And I just jumped to conclusions with this one. Because I'm getting kind of the same issues. At least it's working 100% of the time. Beforehand it wasn't, but that's because I moved to the website. So that's why it wasn't. Which means we're back to conclusion 1. I don't know. As long as I can get the audio working, we're chilling. Which, I mean, it's just a little tedious unplugging it, getting it all, pulling it out, reloading it, making it new, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of that. But it's not like the end of the world kind of stuff. You're just kind of chilling with it. We vibe. That's all I gotta say. Vibe time. Almost got this done, and I think we're gonna end here because it is quite late. And I'm now realizing that if I go later than my mom is awake, I don't know if she'll be mad about me taking a shower and doing the dishes really late at night. She might not want that. So it's possible I will have to always end. Actually, I have a set time. Can't really play throughout the night. It's not gonna work out. I think I just need to... Oop, I'm going the wrong direction. Gotta get some of these things a little bit solved, you know? I think it was actually here that was a little bit wonker. Oh, no, that works out very nicely. Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of the topography of everything. We do need to fix, let me do, I do need to fix, like, this area over here. I need to get this all better. There's a little divot there. But I think after that, that's pretty much it for what I have to do. And I think bring a pathway this way. I could just straight up bring a pathway up here, because I'll know to build something there. Oh, that's right. Because I have all the space back here, that honestly, I could just carry buildings around the back here, and then actually have a road that goes back here to maybe some other farms. That's our greenhouse. So that's going to be kind of interesting, but I do like the idea of having a forest back here. That obviously continues to the outer parts of the river, and then obviously updating the river, because that kind of looks nasty. It's very noisy down there. Oh, I also want to fix this. I don't like how this is a horseshoe, so I think I'm going to fill it in and pull it out and make this part a little bit thicker on that side. Yeah. You know what I might also do? Is maybe I'll take this and kind of bubble it a little bit to make this bit a little bit fatter. Because right now, it's very, like, cut. I don't really like that. I think it'd benefit from that. Yeah. I think it'd really benefit from that. Okay, well. Let's throw that in there. So we're down to a total of 4 shulker boxes of dirt left. I think I'm going to fix that edge there. And probably... so fix this. So this looks very, very bad. Very, very bad. Fix this. Whatever's going there. Fix this. I'll ignore that part for now. Fix that little hole. Come over here and fix this. I don't like this. So I might take this, put it over like that, and then I'll do it one more time, and I actually take this, have it wrap way further into there, and then buff out some of this just to make it like a little bit thicker. I think that'll look pretty good. That's going to do it for today, though. We'll end here. This feels like a good stopping point. So I do got a Shreepeth. So let me do that. Boist. Once it's nighttime. Almost there. Almost. Almost. There we go. Okay, getting the Bible set up for the verse. Ooh, it's a solemn. Pretty common one too. Alright, today is 5/29/24. We're in Psalm 119/105. ESV. Your word is a lamp unto my feet, a light to my path. Alright, your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light to my path. So you remember how earlier I was talking about how the Bible is kind of like a guide? This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's a lamp unto our feet. It's a way to tell us where we should step, because if we step in the wrong spot, I mean, think about walking a tightrope. That's really what it is. Living the Christian life is walking a tightrope, because either side, like, you don't want to fall down, right? So, before God, you'll walk that tightrope without a light at all. You have no idea where you're stepping, and it's very thin what you have to actually step on. And then you believe, you follow Christ, and now you have the lamp. You have a light to your path, and now you know where to step. But it's still a tightrope. But now you know where you're stepping, and now you feel more secure about it because you know where. So that's kind of how that is. It's a place of security. Well, that's gonna do it for today. Let's see if anybody's live at this time. See who we can raid. So for those of you on YouTube, go ahead, sit tight. Those of you on, for those of you on YouTube. For those of you on Twitch, we're gonna raid. We're gonna raid Get Railed. He's the only one who's live right now. Alright, it's going to be scooching on in with the good news. SDK live high, SDK live raid, SDK live heart, SDK live bang. But that one you need to be subscribed for. Very good, very good. Alright, let's go ahead and raid on over. Alright,